The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is, oh my God, Tom Brady's back in the NFL, and everybody's getting paid Monday, March 14th. This show begins now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. In the comments right now, I believe pinned to the top, or shortly being pinned to the top, we have our Bracket Bonanza 2.0. Come and join us. Perfect bracket wins $1 million.
Whoa! Shit.
There will be asterisks on that, obviously.
Okay, of course.
Winner of the overall Bracket Bonanza 2.0 will win 1 Bitcoin.
Whoa. Okay.
Second place will win a lunch with Mitt.
Okay. Lucky guy.
And a signed Baby Duke by all the boys. Third place wins just a signed Baby Duke by myself and all the boys. The Bracket Bonanza last year was a blast. This year, 2.0, only getting bigger and better, hopefully. Come join us. You're the best. Now, let's dive into what today is. Today is the kickoff of the legal tampering period in the NFL's free agency. A lot of players are about to get announced for being paid today. You might see some new homes. You might see some extensions. You'll see a lot of salary cap gymnastics happening. When you see the guaranteed cash, will that be a signing bonus so they can kick the rest all the way down the road? There's some teams still in trouble. They have to figure it out by Wednesday. It is a massive time in the NFL. And that is, something that'll pivot us right into the conversation of the day for most shows in the sports world. Mm-hmm. The greatest of all time has come back after a 40-day hiatus, a 40-day trip with life as a retired human. Tom Brady has decided, get me the fuck back into some sort of goal-oriented business. After he watched Cristiano Ronaldo, just one game removed from being benched for Manchester United, score a hat trick and then meet him afterwards, we saw a photo hit the internet of Tom watching from the stands. There's a man who's saying, I fucking hate this. Not the soccer game itself. I assume he appreciates and respects great athletes doing their thing. But sitting around all these people, probably a bit boozed up, in awe of what's going on the field. Then he sees Cristiano Ronaldo, who I don't know if he was friends with before. I'd assume they know each other pretty well. Go out and dominate at the age of 37. Put on a show. Kind of display all the hard work that Cristiano puts on behind the scenes for that moment for all those people to go crazy. Tom Brady sitting amongst the people who are going crazy. My time in the stands will come, he actually said. Yeah. I'm supposed to still be out there. Mm-hmm. These drunks have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And I am nowhere near this stage of my life yet. Yeah, there was a parent-teacher conference on Friday that was a bit interesting because we ended up playing rock, paper, scissors against each other. Oh. And yeah, doing the laundry and taking the groceries in and everything. That's a lot of fun. But what the hell am I trying to dominate today? Why am I eating avocado ice cream still? What is this stretch routine still happening for? I'm retired. No, I'm not. And remember, just 3 days after his retirement was announced, there was a little bit of rumblings because his Let's Fucking Go podcast with Jim Gray on Sirius XM, which should not cause enough ripple effects, I don't think. Through the year. Maybe they'll. Yeah,
next year.
Maybe next year that. But in that one, he basically, it didn't sound like, oh, that guy's retired. The conversation about Tom Brady not actually being retired happened immediately after Tom Brady announced he was retired. Everybody just assumed that burning competitive desire would drive him back to the field. And then none of his words were like, yeah, I fucking hate football. I'm done with football. It just felt like he was going to be back. I'm happy for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of people are questioning, what was this even all about then? Did he really ever really want to be retired? Or what's all this other shit for? Is this a bigger play? Always trying to get to San Francisco so he can go play for the team that he loved growing up as a child. Who knows what the case is? What I do know is the game's better when Tom's playing. Excited that he's here. I thought he was maybe going to go to the booth or some other business and dominate. I assume he'll do both of those at some point in his life. He's back playing football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were able to keep Ryan Jensen off the market. They were able to keep a couple other plays. Let's assume Gronk is going to go back there. They did lose an offensive lineman. Kappa guard is going to the Cincinnati Bengals, and that is what today will bring. So Tom saying yesterday he's going back to Tampa Bay was, I think, in hopes of keeping people out of this legal tampering period because they have a lot of unrestricted free agents as starters down there. He had to give the bird call to everybody. Hey, you're probably already thinking about what your deal's going to be at the next place. Just want to let you know I'm coming back. We can run this back one more again if you'd like to. And that's what Tampa has to figure out. But there's going to be a lot of people on the move today. Derwin James tweeted out eyeballs already. Does that mean the Chargers have already signed J.C. Jackson? There's big names. There's a lot of names. I can't wait for today. Feels like as the show goes, news is just going to continue to break. AJ Hawk is skiing in the mountains.
Oh, really?
That's real. I don't know. Somewhere left. He's going to where
out west.
Oh, okay. One of the nice mountains out there.
Yeah, a little break, I guess, for him and his family. Dan Orlovsky will join us at 105. The authority, the guru on quarterbacks on ESPN will join us. And Jeff Goodman in the third hour to talk about the madness of March in our bracket bonanza. Can't wait to chat with him. Today should be a big day.
A little bittersweet as a Packers fan because everyone else is getting excited about, hey, who might we bring in, who's going to get money, what guys are we going to make, like a new part of our team. Packers are on the opposite side of that. They're basically just going to, a lot of these guys who have been key contributors are getting cut. They're still trying to get under the cap. So it is what it is, but we'll see, and then you hear Devontae's not happy. He's not going to play on the franchise tag. Ooh. That's okay, though. I'm assuming that'll all get worked out. But it is a very exciting day, and still I'm very curious about when Rodgers' actual deal comes in and what that means, how they're going to get under the cap, and if they are going to be able to go get it, because now they have a couple holes that they definitely need to fill.
Zadarius Smith, he is gone from the Packers. That was conversation. It saves them a lot of money off the cap, which is something they had to do, and he was injured last year. Preston Smith, though, gets a new deal with the Green Bay Packers, so there's still some stuff cooking, but you're right. The flip side to everybody getting signed is people getting cut and let go as well. At Boston Connor, J.C. Jackson, gone. Don't need him. The guy is a ball hawk, wanted to be a Patriot forever. Young still, has a lot of prime football left in his. He's gone. Anybody else that you think we should be looking at around the NFL, big time names that we could see with new homes like J.C. Jackson getting the fuck out of New England?
I think Devontae is on the table. I mean, if he doesn't want to, sign the franchise tag, if he's not going to sign it, he might just, either sit out a year or say, hey, look, trade me for a fifth and a sixth round pick like Amari Cooper, okay? Because I can't do this tag anymore.
I wasn't planning on getting to what has happened before because there's a lot that's going to happen today. But the fact that Amari Cooper went for a fucking washing machine.
Kidding me?
Hey, this is Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I heard that Kentucky needed a new washer and dryer, I couldn't help but pull the trigger. We got Ed Monix on the fucking team.
Boom.
What happened? Swapping sixth round picks, just a fifth rounder for Amari Cooper? If you're a team that is needing a weapon, for some time. No matter who's playing quarterback.
Sure. Has money.
And has a lot of money. What happened? How did this take place? Everybody's talking about...
Bless you.
Everybody's talking about Amari Cooper being upset about this entire thing going from Dallas to Cleveland. Who knows what's going on with Jarvis? There's a lot of conversations there. Who's going on with Baker? There's a lot of conversations there. But what about the Colts and any other team? What happened? Well, how is this all taking place? There's no way Amari Cooper is just worth a fifth round pick. Some shit really confuses me out here.
Yeah, that is absurd. He would immediately make any team he goes to better. I think the worst part for him, aside from having to live in Cleveland now, is that as soon as he gets shipped out, they give Michael Gallup a 5-year, $63 million deal. So
that's a little,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Amari, you know what? You were good for us, but this Michael Gallup guy who just tore his knee up, he's going to come back next year, and he's going to be unbelievable. So why don't you get out of town, go play with Baker or maybe Baker, because all of a sudden Cleveland's trying to jump in on Deshaun Watson too. It'd be cool to see him go somewhere today.
I think a lot of people are probably in on Deshaun Watson after he is not indicted by the grand jury. And the law people on the internet told us grand juries indict ham sandwiches. Hey, we need to dig in more. The fact that they didn't, I would assume for Deshaun Watson, by the way, Deshaun Watson has proclaimed his innocence this entire time. There has been numerous allegations that there's potential settlements happening, and it felt like every time Deshaun was the one loudest about, no, I'm not doing that, and I would like to settle in there. So this grand jury not indicting him, although it does not mean he is innocent, which the internet has told anybody that broke the news about it. I feel like the NFL is viewing that as, okay, so there was an opportunity to investigate. They interrogated. They asked. They said, nah, we're not going to do it. I heard that they would indict a ham sandwich if they could. They're not doing that to Deshaun Watson. He's good enough to be our fucking quarterback. What do they want? They want 3 1s? And some players? You got it. How many more years do we have left in the NFL? Probably another 100 years, sir. Cool. Tell them we will send them 80 ones if they would like. That is how some teams are in desperation of a quarterback, let alone a quarterback if Deshaun Watson is anywhere near what he used to be like on the football field. After I would assume this year has been. I mean, that's a tough. Mentally, I'd assume. Physically, he wasn't really working out, I don't think, with the team or anything like that. Everybody just assumes he'll be able to come back, maybe even better than ever, because there's a lot of, hey, fuck yous to prove out there. There's going to be teams lining up. Allegedly, Deshaun Watson's meeting with the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints today, I believe, or yesterday, to decide whether or not he would waive his no-trade clause to go to those 2 places. I like that Deshaun Watson's like, I'd like to meet these people. I'd like to meet these people and see if I'd like to. And he knows, and I'd assume that Mulligata, his agent, is letting him know, hey, these aren't the only 2 teams that are interested. I don't know if you had heard about anything else, but like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, they were all going to be up. There was like 10 different teams that were in the race. Let's assume because you were found, what, is that innocent from the grand jury?
I mean, I think so, right? They're not pressing any charges.
There wasn't enough evidence to move forward to a trial.
So no charges were filed.
No
criminal charges were filed.
Yes.
So that happens. All these teams are going to be all in on you. So what do the Texans do? How do they feel about this? They're moving on with Dougie Davis-Mills, but they're sitting in a very, very good spot there. There's no way Colts will be able to get them. Same division. There's no chance.
No way. Plus, I mean,
Same
Gardner
conference,
Minshew is coming up through the pipeline. You guys are going to have him for the next 15 years.
Man, that's a real conversation that's happening.
Oh, yeah. It is a couple times.
Lad.
Feed me Gardner, dude.
I thought we didn't want any more goofballs at quarterback. Like
Gardner's not a goofball.
What?
Gardner loves ball.
Absolutely.
Goofball loves ball.
Okay.
2 different things I've ever said. Gardner and Flint come to Indiana. Leather jackets doing their thing.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people talking about Gardner Minshew coming to the Colts. I don't care as long as he doesn't check out her runs.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all
Just
you
hand
need
the ball
right
to
now.
Jonathan Taylor. Now, need Jonathan Taylor to continue to come back healthy and very strong, but what happened, dude?
I don't know. It's kind of awesome from an outside perspective just because, man,
He said?
the Colts are so sweet to watch them have all this money damn near every year. And instead of going out and getting one of these guys that they easily could decide, you know what, fuck it, we need to pay our backup, left tackle. We need to pay our third wide receiver. We need to do all these other things except take care of the most important position.
Hey, well, not in that, but like Amari Cooper, like, how is he not a Colt right now?
Yeah.
How is Amari Cooper not a Colt right now? Like, that's a real question. Is there some sort of thing that I'm not understanding? Did Amari Cooper say, send me to Cleveland, not to Indianapolis? I don't understand. 5th round pick. All right, dude, we might be able to get like a good teamer in there.
Yeah.
I agree. Ballard's a good drafter. Fucking Amari's good, too.
Yeah.
He's a very good
Hey, Chris
player.
Ballard, you got Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick. You
Steal.
drafted Amari in the 5th round.
Yeah.
You're the greatest draft GM of all time. Is he stinking football? How did Amari Cooper not end up in an Indianapolis Colt as of this weekend? What the fuck did I miss? Have I missed something?
I thought the colors matched really well going from Dallas to Indy. The stadiums matched really well. I mean, it seemed perfect.
I mean, there's just a couple ripple effects here. Like, so is that, you hear Schrager say, like, Matthew Stafford wanted to come to the Colts. The Colts just wouldn't go all in for Matthew Stafford. And then, like, 2 years ago, Tom Brady wanted to come. The Colts said, nah, we're moving on from that.
Phil Rivers.
And then, Phil Rivers is a hell of a player.
He is.
Yeah,
He is.
Phil Rivers is a hell of a player.
He is. Well, Tom Brady's available.
He's pretty
And then
good.
now Amari Cooper's for a 5th rounder. Russell Wilson went for what? A couple picks that could have easily been forked over, even though we don't have one this year. I will give you our next 2 ones, 2 twos. They still feel like they got a good deal over there in Seattle. They did not.
Nope.
And we get Russell Wilson a quarterback with this team that is ready to go. Now, did Sierra and Russell not want to come to Indianapolis? Maybe that's a whole part of it. We don't know the ins and outs, but sounds like Amari Cooper was cool with whatever. What's going on?
Especially when you have all that cap space. Like, it's not like you can't fall back on the excuse like, well, the price tag that comes with him. It's like, hey, you have a very clear need that you need a number 1 wide receiver. He fills that void. You have a shitload of money.
Dude, why don't we have Amari Cooper on our team right now?
Do you think they'll get aggressive now and kind of be like,
Get aggressive
shit.
when?
Well, I mean, maybe they spend $60 million today.
What if you get Allen Robinson?
All right, Allen Robinson, pretty good. Allen Robinson, pretty good at the football. I'd love to have Allen Robinson. Probably going to have to pay him. Somebody got paid!
Uh-oh!
Somebody got paid! They left all their microphones on in the back room, so we actually heard Foxy say it'd probably be a good time to do this. Sounds like all hell is breaking loose in the back. Somebody got paid here on this legal tampering Monday. Miami Dolphins and running back Chase Edmonds have reached an agreement on a 2-year deal worth $12.6 million, including $6.1 million guaranteed, per his agent Drew Rosenhaus. The former Cardinals running back is headed to Miami. Congratulations, Chase.
Baby Chase.
The running back.
Also, congratulations to the Dolphins, who not only signed him, but they also signed Campbell Ogba.
Emmanuel
Ogba, defensive end. They signed him to like $30 million. The Dolphins are wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel's down there. We get good players. Win games.
We win games.
Okay.
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
So the Miami Dolphins are getting active.
Here we go.
The legal tampering period has begun. Pittsburgh Steelers ain't going to do nothing, huh, Tone Diggs? What teams are just going to sit back and watch?
Well,
us?
normally this day stinks for me because the Steelers, like the Packers, normally just sit back and watch, and then they pick up their guys second, third, fourth day of free agency. But that's because normally they're around like $5 million under the cap, $5 million over the cap. They're $30 million under the cap, so they do have some money to play with this season. I would love to see them make the O-line a little bit better.
Oh,
Okay.
a lot of people trying to do that.
Yeah, let's shore up the O-line. Maybe get a quarterback today. Today, let's actually, if you got money, let's be players.
Yeah, why not get into the game?
It's actually an exciting day for me. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure I'll be crushed by the end of the day.
Well, this first hour is supposed to be pretty active. We have no guests. We're just kind of sitting around on Pi Day, keeping an eye to the legal tampering period. Interesting, because tampering is an illegal word.
Yeah.
But it's legal tampering period.
Correct.
Why does the NFL just allow it just to be like,
Good question.
hey, Monday is...
Started today.
Yeah.
This is contract announcement period.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday is the official league year, whatever they want to do. I don't know why. It's almost like it used to be something that wasn't really talked about publicly, and now it's just become so naturally known.
Right. Especially when, guys, technically, that's
This is fucking
got a
unbelievable.
gas leak or
What is
something.
that?
Well, I don't know. Is there something being sawed down outside?
Guys technically can't sign until Wednesday, right?
I believe it doesn't become official till Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So they can sign today, but it doesn't become official till Wednesday. But if you can do all your business today, and it seems like most teams, at least for marquee free agents, do all their business today, why don't they just make today the start of free agency?
It doesn't matter. We'll just treat it as such. Let's bounce through some things that have happened. Tom Brady's back. He went and watched Cristiano Ronaldo score 3 goals and said, you know what? I ain't sitting in the crowd no more. Hated being with his family. Hated watching alongside these drunk hooligans over there in England. Wanted to get back in there. Wanted to compete. Wanted to house avocado ice cream for a purpose all of a sudden, and pliability and everything like that. I'm excited for Tom.
Hey, baby Tom. Good luck.
Tom.
Devontae Adams has informed the Packers that he won't play on a franchise tag. Oh, you guys franchise tag me? Funny. I'm not doing it. How about that? So this is a fascinating little situation here, because the franchise tag is normally the average of the top 5 salaries at your position. or it's 120% of your contract from the year before. The reason why I had not heard about that until Davante Adams is because the people that get franchise tagged, normally young, haven't made any money yet. Davante Adams at this point is probably like, excuse me, fuck you. I'm a veteran. I've been around. I'm the best in the game. You need to pay me because I don't know how many more of these opportunities are going to be showing up. So 120% of his last year's contract, he was going to be making $20 million just for next year, but no long-term stability, no long-term anything. And now that the Packers have Aaron back with no announcement of what his contract is, although we were told it will be a cap-friendly deal from our source, says they're going to make some plays. Get rid of Za'Darius, sign Preston. Davante's not happy. I assume they got it all under control and figured out over there. But this is the first player who has openly said, nah, I'm not signing it. I'm not doing it. Even though he has really no other options by the legalities of what the NFL has in place.
Right, and I would imagine that they will get something done by July. But if anyone has a gripe, it is him. Because like you said, he's been one of the best receivers in the NFL for several years now, and he's still never really got that big money deal. He's kind of taken a hometown discount to stay with the Packers and keep playing with Rodgers. So like, it makes perfect sense that he's like, hey, this is bullshit. Like I've helped you guys out quite a few times here. It's time that I get broken off. But I'm fully confident that they will get something done by July.
So who knows what's going to happen with Davante, another wide receiver. There's some breaking news. Jarvis Landry has been released from the Cleveland Browns. Adam Schefter is reporting that Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry is now available as a free agent. Amari Cooper arriving, Landry departing. Now Jarvis, obviously a pillar for that Cleveland Brown team. Whenever Hard Knocks was on, there's that speech he gave in the wide receiver room about everybody needing to fucking figure out how to be adults. Pretty much. Worked hard, played through injuries, was always super passionate. Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr., his college roommate, came to town, then left, kept nothing but love. Had no idea what was going to go on with Jarvis Landry. Contract talks started getting loud out there, both from Jarvis and from people around. They move on from Jarvis, who's going to have, hey, come on over to Indianapolis.
Yeah, there you go.
Jarvis is probably going to have a pretty good market. And now what will Cleveland do offensively? Two great running backs, Amari Cooper, a hell of an offensive line, Baker Mayfield, which I guess there's conversations taking place. They're allegedly also potentially investigating. And I have to say, allegedly, potentially, all of those things, because who knows what's real and what isn't anymore. They're allegedly thinking about potentially looking into Deshaun Watson, but who isn't, I think, is probably the real reporting in there. Jarvis is now on the streets.
Yeah, and Kenny Moore tweeted yesterday, hold on, let me text Jarvis. So if anything, the Colts should be right there in the Jarvis Landry sweepstakes, a little veteran to, maybe show Michael Pittman, hey, when you get a screen and you need, 6 yards, why don't you just, put your hand on the ground maybe, get those extra yards, help everybody out. Jarvis would be perfect in Indianapolis, but they got to pay Zach Pascal still, I think. So
all right. All right, that goes back to your point that they don't pay anybody. Ari Mirov at My Sports Update. The Browns are releasing wide receiver Jarvis Landry, saving $14.8 million in cap space in 4 seasons. He has 288 catches, 3,560 yards, and 19 TDs. Did get injured a little bit, but he's a dog. Will do anything, can throw the rock, will take screens. He's a running back, absolute stud. $14.8 million off the cap for Cleveland. I can't wait to see where he ends up.
Rap is reporting that the Chiefs and the Bills are early teams to watch for Jarvis to go there. I believe those teams are also in line for Juju as well. So those teams are looking for wide receiver help.
Ian Rappaport saying the Bills and Chiefs are 2 teams to watch. I mean, Cole Beasley out of the Bills, right? They came to an agreement where they can potentially move along. So the Bills are looking for weapons. The Chiefs are always looking for weapons. Seems like they're winning all the time. Can somebody else just not look at what they're doing and say, oh, maybe we should think about doing what they're doing?
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
Oh, those 2 teams win.
Well, they also have quarterbacks.
All right.
So
listen, I know you're just talking about the Colts, but I'm talking about all teams.
No, me too.
Yeah, I'm talking about all teams.
No, it works the same way. I think like a lot of teams like Carolina, even New Orleans, wouldn't you think that those guys or those teams, unless obviously one of them gets Watson, not many receivers are going to want to go there and play because they don't know who's going to be throwing the ball.
The Saints are still like 30-some million over, right?
Yeah.
That's before they pick up Deshaun. I know they're doing a bunch to move it, and we have been steadfast on the fact that the salary cap means shit. Mm-hmm. You can do whatever. The way you can align contracts now and set them up to kind of take 1 year's hit and separate it over 5 years with voidable years, and on the back end, it catches up to you when it catches up to you. And what everybody's saying is that the Saints are now at the point where the can that they've kicked down the road is currently the roadblock for them to continue to move and have to figure it out. I don't know how Deshaun Watson would. I don't know how that would work out there. Why would you want to go there?
I hear you. And Saints are down to 6, but I mean,
congratulations!
Wow, Deshaun's what, $30 million this year, something like that, cap hit.
So then they'll have to keep moving. But it doesn't. I guess they just start kicking the can down the road again.
Just keep going.
Yeah, just Cam Jordan moved his all to signing bonus, I believe, last week.
Yeah, everyone did. Like you've seen the reports come in on guys that have restructured their contracts with them, and it's all the star players. I don't know if they have any more left or.
Hey, by the way, I think that means that it's definitely a long-term team too, though.
Yeah.
Because the only way that you end up getting fucked, I guess, is if somebody retires or wants to move on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of Ponzi scheming the money. You're just kind of shell gaming it. You're just moving it into different places. And then once one person is eliminated from that, it's like, oh, we have to deal with this one. And then they just have to kind of figure out how to smoke and mirrors it. And then once one leaves the game, oh, now we got to figure out for that. I guess they've been able to do it, though. I guess they've been able to do it. The team automatically gets better. Somebody got paid here on March 14th, 2022, Pi Day, also the first day of the legal tampering period. Cardinals are giving running back James Conner a 3-year, $21 million deal that could grow to a maximum of $25.5 million and includes $13.5 million fully guaranteed per source, says Adam Schefter. So Chase Edmonds just signed elsewhere. James Conner now getting 3 years, $21 million. Quick math, $7 million per year with another $4.5 million in incentives. Excited to see what the incentive base are. The Cardinals have continued to pay people. They just got everybody last offseason. Then they just Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Keim get paid. James Conner's getting paid now. I wonder what Kyler Murray's social media looks like today. Let's keep all eyes on that.
Well, and that deal, too. They were talking about Rodgers resetting the market. Kyler's going to end up resetting the market. And, like, the kicking the can down the road, don't you think a lot of these deals, like, even that for James Carr is pretty big, but they're going to be massive deals, right? Because if they know the cap's going to go up the next 5 years probably, $20 million each year.
Eric Burkhart knows that.
Eric Burkhart knows it.
He can't. Chooses.
Right.
Yes. Excuse me.
But he knows it's going up. So when he's negotiating this 10-year, $500 million deal that Patrick Mahomes just signed, he was like, well, actually, Patrick got a pretty bad deal. We're thinking $10,750.
Yeah, because the cap.
Apple, also, we heard about them. Google, they're probably going to get involved.
Yeah.
Amazon's already dancing. So
Netflix, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's where all the money is. Yeah. Maybe 800 actually. But by the way, cap hit this year, $2 million.
Yeah, easy.
Not bad.
Now you won't pay us till 10 years from now. Who knows what the world will be like 10 years from now? Just lock it in, make it guaranteed, no big deal at all. That's what deals are going to start looking like for the quarterbacks. And I would assume, the voidable years on the back end of that is also going to be something very real.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's why watching these salary cap gurus go to work is fantastic.
What can you do though? I'm thinking about like the Rodgers situation with the Packers. Like there is a way, and with Devontae too, that like you can clear up a shitload of cap space if you really wanted to. And whether
let's say Aaron Rodgers, because I think his deal is still in the cap right now.
Right. Yeah.
His old deal, which is 40-some million.
It's like 46.9, I think.
So what if it's a $25 million deal for whatever a year, and they give him $24 million in a signing bonus?
Yes.
That automatically drops down to like a vet min style. Oh, no, it goes down to like $12 million, I guess. You have to spread it out for that whole thing. So it goes down to like $12 million. That saves you $30 million. Then all of a sudden now you have $30 million to play with for Devontae and everything. There's ways just to go about depleting money completely. The NFL is going to have to look at it.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been talking about this for a few years now. And I don't want to say, hey, we are ahead of the game on this, but we've been talking about how the salary cap doesn't mean a fucking thing for a long time. So much so, very loud about like the local team here, Chris Ballard, and how much money he had and how much more money he could create if he really wanted to. Now it's just become a standard conversation. Oh, they can make that money go away and kind of move it. This has been something that is very new to a lot of these teams. Some teams have been doing it for a while. That's how the Chiefs are able to keep whoever, fucking however. That's why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to sign 23 of their 23 starters. Yes, I know it's 22, but they signed AB as well. The Rams are able to sign whoever. It's because the salary cap gymnastics that people have kind of perfected in some places is now lingering into everywhere. You would assume if you want to be competitive, but we haven't seen that masterful deal done by any new party members. You know, like the Colts come in here and sign somebody to a hilarious deal. It would be great.
Yeah.
But they're like an old school type market. The Packers are kind of changing a little bit coming into the new salary cap.
I wish I could remember who it was, but there was a deal either today or yesterday where they signed it and year one was 50% of what every other year was. So I assume like when Rodgers deal comes in, and then if Devontae's deal comes in, like that number for this upcoming season is going to be half of what they're getting every other single year, so that this year they're going to be way under eventually. I assume.
Salary cap gymnastics, and then next year they'll figure out a way to do it again, and then nothing matters. We got to get to a break. This has been a beautiful tampering day thus far.
Yeah.
James Conner, Chase Edmonds, the Arizona Cardinals are like, you're out, you're in. Let's go. Dolphins making some plays. Packers are in a little bit of trouble.
A little bit, yeah.
Jarvis is a good hits for somebody.
Jarvis Landry is going to be signed, by the end of the day? Hopefully by the end of the hour. Come on over to Indy, Jarvis.
Bengals O-line got better.
Bengals, yeah.
Yeah, they signed Kappa out of Tampa Bay.
4-year, $40 million.
It's big money. I assume that's not the last offensive lineman that Cincinnati's going to sign.
No way.
Not.
Or draft.
Yeah.
Get that big Evan Neely guy. Or maybe Icky. Get Icky in there.
He's probably going top 3, though. Bengals, I mean, they need to get Armstead if they want somebody.
Glad you can put that up. Things are moving thus far in the hour. This is as of 12:25. The Browns cut Jarvis Landry. James Conner's back on a 3-year deal. Emmanuel Ogba's back to Miami for a 4-year, $65 million. Chase Edmonds to Miami, 2 years, $12.6 million. Alex Kappa, spelled wrong, to the Bengals, 4 years, $40 million. Joseph Noteboom back to the Rams, 3 years, $40 million.
Jeez.
We appreciate Ari Mirov for his update. That's just in the first 25 minutes of the legal tampering period. We're back in 4 minutes with probably more. Cheers. Out of respect for the Intercontinental Championship,
wait a minute.
I was going to try to remain professional, but what are you doing out here? Huh? Why are you here?
Podcast? Huh? If you're going to main event WrestleMania with me? Get out of here. Get this guy out of here. Pat, come on. No, not this way, Pat. Come on, get some security down here. Pat, don't let him get to you. Pat, come on. God, somebody get out here. Do something. Pat, come on. Pat, come on. Enough, Pat. Pat, come on. Pat, come on. Pat, enough. Come on, enough. Pat, enough. Not like this. You're a pro, dude. Don't let that punt get to you. Just don't let him get to you, man. Not like that. You got him at Mania in a couple of weeks. Just let it be. Just let it be. See, now you got the security out here.
That's how we're doing this. Huh? I hope you're ready. Huh? Come up here.
That's a damn shame it had to happen like that. Pat's being escorted out by the security right now. Intercontinental.
Do you ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
Never.
you are beloved on there,
never,
Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because two things. Number one, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies. And then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm gonna say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's 21.
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah. Be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Here on this glorious March 14th, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Legal tampering period for the NFL free agency has started 38 minutes ago, and there's a lot of action.
Oh, yeah.
Some news breaking during the break. Allegedly, the Packers will be in on Jarvis Landry. I wonder if this is potentially a conversation that old AR-12 had with the front office, or if AR-12 is involved in this conversation. That is interesting to think about what happened last year, what he wanted, what he thought was happening. Just to be respected, my opinion to be heard. Jarvis Landry's a guy that I think everybody's going to want.
Oh, yeah, that would be huge. And but in terms of like what they have going on right now, I guess Devontae doesn't care if he's going to get paid down the road, but if all these reports are true and both sides are not happy with each other right now, like, does it make sense for them to sign Jarvis Landry and give him a bunch of money and just
hold on. There's another tweet. Here we go.
No.
Mike Garafolo, the Packers are expected to be in the mix for Jarvis Landry. Okay. Josina Anderson, while Jarvis Landry will have his share of interest out there, the Packers are not expected to be a team on the list.
Jesus.
Even as Marquez Valdez-Scantling is set for unrestricted free agency, per league source.
so fucking never mind, I guess. Or who knows?
Well, this is what we continue to talk about. Nobody. Mike Garafolo tweets immediately upon the release, look for the Packers to be interested. Josina Anderson, who is dialed in, says, yeah, look for them not to be, actually. Just a never-ending, hey, how you doing? Who's telling the truth? Who isn't? Both could be right.
Sure. This is horse shit.
This is life on the internet.
Yeah, you're right.
Let alone all the Dahn Schefters that are about to take off today. AJ Boyier has been released from the Panthers. Ooh. There's a little casualty here on the legal tendering franchise free agency day, I guess. He is on the market now. Congrats to AJ and Morgan Fox. I don't know if they love this or not, but the market should be good.
Sure.
Market should be good. I honestly believe that. Unlike the transfer portal in college where there's like 2,000 guys in there and there's only, 100 and some teams? It feels like the free agency market's about to be very good in this particular market that we're in the NFL right now if you're a player. There's baseball tweets getting sent into the group. Let's not do that. Let's not do that on this particular day. Okay? There's no reason for that. What is it, Nick? What is happening? It's free agency day here for the NFL. Nick, I see you're sending it.
I understand there's just two big-time guys in the MLB, or we're in an accident, and there's some guys are going to be missing some time. I'm just, it's news. So I don't know.
Well, I hope they're okay. So,
T's and P's.
Terrible news. Yeah. Oh, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, he fractured wrist. He's out for a few months.
Face of the sport.
Pete Alonso says he got in a brutal car accident yesterday. His car flipped over 3 times. Says he feels fortunate to be alive. He is well now and will be back to the field tomorrow.
Polar bear.
Wow.
San Diego Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. has a fractured wrist that will require surgery. Team president A.J. Preller announced Monday, which could keep him out of line. Was he in that car with Pete Alonso?
I don't believe so.
I doubt it, but it's possible.
Separate incident.
Nick, this can't happen. Pete Alonso gets a car accident. Crazy, obviously. Nothing happened to him. Right?
I think they're connected.
I don't think they are.
Then Fernando Tatis Jr., what happened to him? Is he all right? I mean, we're not covering every injury of the MLB. Was he in the car with Pete Alonso?
Finding out right now.
I believe no.
My guess would be no.
And when I say I believe no, I'm 99.999 no.
I'm happy Pete Alonso's all by himself and he's okay.
Yeah.
All right? Sorry about it, Pete.
Good luck, Pete.
Fernando, though, he's a big bat swinger. We cannot do that on free agency tender day, Nick. That can't happen. Oh, man.
That was a big baseball show.
This is not. It's not. Baseball's back. We were a big baseball show when baseball was dead.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to talk baseball when baseball was dead. Nobody's, speaking of, very thankful.
Luckily.
Yeah. God damn, as I was reading that tweet, I'm like, oh, and we got to do a moment of silence. And then turns out he's okay. He's back on the field tomorrow. Anyways, let's continue to bounce around the NFL a little bit. The Colts are reportedly interested in Gardner Minshew at quarterback. So this is interesting. With Deshaun Watson, the grand jury deciding not to press any charges or indict him, around the NFL, it was like, all right, they said it. We are now capable of investing in a quarterback that we think will be able to be our quarterback for the future. There's still potentially a suspension coming, and I believe there's still civil lawsuits. And the internet said just because the grand jury did not indict him does not mean he's innocent. All right. I don't think the NFL teams are looking at it that way, but I understand what you were saying. This changes the market completely. Jimmy G now he's not as glorious as he once was, and the Niners were sitting back waiting because they thought they literally had the Joker, they thought they had the Wild, they thought they had the Ace, and they could say, hey, fuck you. We still got to figure out what we want to do with Jimmy G, and we're deciding what's going on with Trey Lance. Trey said they're in no rush, while other teams are like, hey, I need a quarterback right now. Aaron goes, Russell goes, Carson goes. Everybody thought the next domino would be Jimmy G, and the Niners allegedly were taking we'll take our time. That might have ran them right out of having the best leverage in town game, because now that Deshaun's available, he's what everybody's going to want. Now, once Deshaun goes, Jimmy G's back to being on top. Marcus Mariota's name's getting some chatter.
Yep.
He's potentially tied to the Indianapolis Colts. Awesome. He's potentially tied to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Awesome. Gardner Minshew, now potentially an Indianapolis Colt. These last chance Qs are now taking a back seat to Deshaun Watson, but it'll be their day one day. It'll be their day sometime soon, depending upon where Deshaun goes.
They might not be able to, but I mean, they have to do whatever they can to try to get Deshaun Watson, right?
Who's that?
The Colts.
They won't trade him in the division.
I don't even know if they'll do it in conference.
I guess it doesn't matter then.
Now, maybe in conference. Maybe. No way in division.
Well, and like for conferences go, like in the NFC, I think Seattle too, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they were linked to Deshaun for sure.
Yeah, because they also have Drew Lock. You can just move Noah Fant again, and then they have 3 first-round picks in the next 2 years. Like that feels like the one that isn't.
What
Getting
about the
as
Giants? What about the Giants?
Giants.
They have
Absolutely.
2 picks in the top 10 this year,
And
They've been linked to Mitch.
And Saquon Barkley, they said they would trade.
Sure.
I mean, maybe the Giants will be in there.
Everybody but the Colts, it feels like.
Tell you what, Danny Woodhead did run really well for the Texans last year, though, so maybe they don't need a running back.
Maybe. Hey, Dougie Davis Mills and Woodhead got a good relationship.
Yeah,
Hey, they got a great relationship.
They do.
Saquon Barkley, he's on the move, I guess. Everybody's saying. So that sounds like that's a trade bundle then. Because with all the picks that they have, unless they're just trying to rebuild, which they might be doing. Over there, Shane, right? Joe Shane is spelled Shone, pronounced Shane. Him and Daboll straight out of Buffalo over to the Giants franchise and program, trying to make their plays, set their mark. Saquon being on the move is not surprising because how much they're probably supposed to pay him, the injury, and how much value his name still holds probably around the NFL with how good he is. That would make sense, but would it be a part of a bundle package with picks to maybe get additional on that? Seems like that could potentially make sense.
Yeah, and he'd probably be unbelievable in New York in that market. But on that list,
that would be tough.
Yeah, you think with all the
that'd be interesting.
It's going to be I think anywhere because
but New York is.
No, I know.
Times 10.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he one of those? Is that one of the teams that he had on his list that he would accept the trade to?
He's meeting with teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that thing doesn't matter, I don't think, anymore. I think he's meeting with teams. Remember, they thought he was going to be a Jet there for a little bit because he was wearing a green hat before the entire thing, and then maybe the Eagles he was going to go to. So maybe he does want to get into the bigger city area up there in the tri-state area. Maybe the Giants will be a home for him.
Yeah, way different than Houston. What about Tyrod Taylor? You think you would take him in Indianapolis?
So Zito just dropped in my ear and said that John Mara has said we are not trading for Deshaun Watson. That was in January 26th. This is before the grand jury.
Things changed.
Yeah, this is before the grand jury. And once again, I have to say this. People on the internet are saying this does not mean he's innocent just because the grand jury chose not to indict. What I am telling you people that are saying that, and I hear you, I understand what you're saying, the NFL is not going to look at it that. Teams and programs are not going to look at it that way. They're going to say, that grand jury, which they even probably say, we joked that a grand jury would indict his anger. They probably do that entire thing. They hear that no charges are being pressed, and it's immediate green flag racing for them. Correct. I just want to let everybody know that. John Mara might have said that January 26th. I don't know if he's still sitting by that. Maybe he is. But if he hears that he could get him with the 2 picks they got in the first round this year, 1 next year, Saquon Barkley and somebody else. Done. John Mara, who is openly and very open and been on the record as saying, I'm sick of explaining to all these other rich motherfuckers why my team sucks. He would bring Deshaun Watson in there immediately. I don't know the man personally, but I'm just telling you what it sounds like and it seems like the rest of the NFL is acting like. So let's assume he also is acting in the same way.
Well, it's a lot easier to say that at that date when it was like, hey, this guy might go to jail for 20 years. Like there were a lot of teams saying like, oh, there's only a handful. And then the stuff comes out on Friday and we hear like, oh yeah, there's like 16 teams that are interested in bringing Deshaun Watson in.
Zach Kiefer just tweeted, vibe I've gotten, Colts free agent approach won't change drastically despite some pressing needs this year. Doesn't mean they won't take a big swing at some point, but I get the sense they're going to be patient and feel out the market before they do. What? Yeah. What? Why are you laughing? Shut up.
Why do they just have all this money just to feel out the market? They should set the market for some of these guys, and they're just going to say, oh, you know what, actually, in 2 years we have to pay Jonathan Taylor, so we can't really spend that money right now or else we'll be screwed then.
What is going on, dude?
It's ridiculous.
I saw the Jim Irsay collection this weekend in Los Angeles.
Yeah, sweet.
I did a full behind-the-scenes tour. He had scripts, I think, from like the first Buddhist monks in there that had to cost like hundreds of millions of dollars, the amount of stuff in there. It's not Jim Irsay saying I'm not spending the money.
No. I think Jim Irsay is saying, hey, when I walk into my office on Wednesday,
I want to win her.
We better not have $70 million in cap space. Okay.
I want to win her.
Yeah.
I want to, or maybe he's not, I guess. Chris Ballard has been very consistent. Hey, I'm going to build the culture. I'm going to build from within. Guys need to know that if they play well here, they're going to get paid here. And he has done that. He's paid, everybody within house.
Yeah.
Now somehow he still has $70 million available. And I don't know if he doesn't want to set the precedent of, hey, we're going to pay these big name guys who have never done anything here. We're not going to give somebody from outside big money that hasn't been able to do anything in here. But in the NFL, in the modern world, you saw Bill Belichick spend $150 million on this month, 1 year ago, on this day. He spent like $150 million. He believed in the same exact thing that Chris believed, but he still will make a big time play. Give me Randy. Mm-hmm. Bring me Ocho. Bring me this. Our culture is good enough. Let's do it. It doesn't make any sense. And I know we talk about it more than we definitely talk about it more than any other show because I'm direct ties to the team and we're in the city and I like all this shit. But also that team's a fucking team.
Yeah.
They got a squad. In all the places you need, they got. Except for playmaking positions and quarterback. Yep. It's like you have all the 1990 and 1980 positions locked in.
Yeah.
Now we just need the little 2022 sprinkled in there, and then we're off and running here in Indy. And is that not what we're about anyways? What are we thinking?
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And we talked about it a lot, but Jim Irsay is really the only like active social media NFL owner in the entire league. And, you talked about the culture. Don't they already have the guys in the building that set the culture with Quentin Nelson, with Darius Leonard? So why does it not make sense? Like, is Jarvis Landry going to be negative to the culture of the Indianapolis Colts?
Hey, by the way, they might be in on Jarvis. We don't know.
Yeah,
because remember the Packers were in on Jarvis via Garofalo, and then Josino was like, nah. Actually not. Conflicting reports all over the place. I assume a Darn Schefter's gone once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
But the Colts might be in on Jarvis. We don't know. Michael Pittman Jr. put out the eyes emoji, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kenny Moore's texting him, but then Zach Kiefer's saying, no. They're not going to change their approach. They're going to let all the big guys kind of go their places, and then they'll sweep in for someone that no one really wants.
Jeez Louise.
That's what he's saying,
That's
basically.
not what he's saying.
Translation.
No, he did
Might
not
take
say
a
that.
swing, dude.
Remember, he traded for DeForest Buckner.
That's
right. Okay, DeForest Buckner, a lot of people were in on that. Chris Ballard pulled the trigger, got him in there. He'll do the same damn thing.
That's what's insane, though, because he did pay a guy that was outside of the building, and it worked so well, but now he won't do it for, the positions that you need more than anything.
Let's go to Carter in Texas. What's going on, Carter?
Oh, hello. I was wondering,
what the hell
since Brady's back, who do you think the Bucs will sign in free agency?
Carter, what's going on, man? What are you up to today?
I'm feeding with my dad, and I was just wondering, since Tom Brady is back with the Buccaneers in free agency, who do you think the Bucs will sign?
Carter, how old are you, man?
I'm 10 years old.
Hey!
All right.
Thank you for the call, Carter. Do not repeat any of the words we say on this show, okay? Please, Carter?
I won't.
Okay, and don't be drinking until you're a proper age. Don't be smoking. Don't be gambling. You probably don't listen to this show, Carter. Get out there and play with a ball or something, What are you in school right now, I assume?
It's spring break.
Oh. What grade is that, Carter?
I'm in 4th grade.
Oh, Carter. You should not be listening to this show in 4th grade, Carter.
I mean, you were sound 6.
Yeah, well, that's next year. All right, Carter.
I thought he was going to say 10. And since Tom Brady has come back, who do you think the Bucs are going to sign for?
So I think he thought we didn't hear him the first time.
Yeah.
So he, by the way, answered the question, went back into his question.
Yep.
One of the best calls we've had in some time. 10-year-olds should not be fucking listening to this show.
No, probably not.
What do we got going on? A lot of spring break, a lot of kids around their parents. A lot of parents that are normally a little loosey-goosey on the phones and the computers.
Yep.
Hey, let's let these stooges in Indianapolis fucking speak all day. Now all of a sudden the kids are at home because they're not at school doing whatever the fuck they're doing. No, Carter.
Can't have it, Carter.
That's going to rest on my heart. Carter, don't say the things we say on this show.
This kid's fucked. He's going to get an in-school suspension next week.
Next week.
When he gets back.
I called into the fucking pad. What did you do during your spring break? Oh, Carter, you're a legend, pal.
Thank you, Carter.
I'm not 100% sure what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do. They got Jensen back at $13 million per year. Allegedly, his market was $15 million per year if he really wanted to go get it. It's about $1.5 million under what Kelsey just re-signed for at the Eagles as well. Jensen just had an incredible year. Could have got a little bit more money. He returns with his trigger man, Tom Brady. Let's assume Gronkowski is going to come back because he has not officially announced he was going to retire. Talked up Joe Burrow a couple times, but let's assume if old Tommy B is calling and saying, hey, let's run this thing back, he's going there. They'll be able to figure out that team, I think. They'll be able to figure it out.
I feel like they need a corner. Like, that's the place that they aren't, like, they don't have a Pro Bowler at.
Yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden the J.C. Jackson sweepstakes have heated up. Have that J.C. Jackson sweepstakes gone from New England to Tampa, just like Tom went from New England to Tampa? Hey, come on down here. I know exactly what it's like up there. I know how you could just get tossed in the trash. Come down to Tampa. We got no state income tax. We'll give you a big signing bonus. You can live over here in Jetersburg like I did. You'll love the city.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tampa, they got less cap space than New England does. They don't have the money to bring in J.C. Jackson.
They'll be able to figure it out. The Steelers have reached a 2-year agreement with quarterback Mitchell Trubisky.
Wow!
The former number 2 overall pick heads to Pittsburgh as the expected starter in place of the retired Big Ben Roethlisberger. Garofalo reporting that Mitchell Trubisky is the new quarterback for Yinzers everywhere. Tell him, Diggs, how you feel.
So we wanted Pat number 2 overall pick. He's still got a bunch of talent. Let's go.
Yeah, guy loves titties and he loves a big time comeback. What? They're in Pittsburgh.
Let's go.
Mitchell Trubisky is just like the 4th starter in like 100 years for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congrats to Mitch and to Pittsburgh. We're back on the other side with more chaos in the NFL's tampering period.
Let's go! Hawks are soaring, baby. Dude, they're about to win by 35.
Live bet these dogs at FanDuel now.
That's a great idea. There's no need to be in this situation anymore because live betting at FanDuel has never been easier. You simply open the app, identify your location, and boom, find the game you want to put some action on. It's easier than it ever has been before with our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. And then comes the best part. I'll see you tomorrow! Let's fucking go! Thank you, FanDuel.
Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. You know, whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back.
What's doing, Foxy? It stinks here, huh?
What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are in currently. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and then he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that will just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about.
Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool.
All right, Narati, like the Indy. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go. I went to one of his shows. He forced me into doing. He's wearing football pants.
I think Mark
had actual knee pads.
Does he have a fake face on?
Yeah, he has a fake face on. That is not Chris Angel. That or he's been eating McDonald's with Mark Davis for the last 5 years.
I just want to let everybody know.
Straight to his face.
I just want to let everybody know this is NFL related. Okay, we have to talk about it.
Yes. Have to cover it.
Why is his penis a different color?
He's wearing football pants.
Tony, that's a
Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show on this legal tampering free agency bonanza Monday, March 14, 2022. Hour 2 begins right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody watching at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. In one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys, 10 digs is still flying high because of the news that broke right before we went to the break at the end of the last hour. Mitchell Trubisky is now the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. Mitchburg. Here we go. Mitchburg's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go. Got Trubisky. He's licking titty. Here we go. Coming out of Buffalo time. Here we go. Hated Nagy and he threw some games, but he's all the way back and he's never the same. Here we go. Mitchburg, here we go. Oh, what a joke.
Yeah! Woo!
Pumped.
10 gone! Got our guy, dude. We're out of the quarterback carousel. It's not Mason. Who cares?
All right, now let's get some offensive linemen.
Exactly. Now we can build. We know what we're doing. We know his highs. We know his lows. Dayball wanted him. He didn't get him, okay? Sorry. Deal with Danny Dimes. He's our Super Bowl winning quarterback now. Zita, he's the best quarterback he's ever seen touch a pigskin.
Yes. Besides Fields, of course.
What does that mean? What is
Yes.
that?
It's in my calendar.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if all the Inzers are happy about this, but, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, well, at this point, I'm not 100% sure who else would make the Inzers happy. Is it going to be Jimmy G? I guess the Italians around town might be pretty pumped about the gabagool coming to the quarterback. Yeah, he brings his nona. Who doesn't cook?
That witch.
Yikes.
I don't know if she'd be.
I was pretty concerned.
That was a red flag.
That was interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's cooking?
Nona Cooks, right? She was playing the character.
Had to have been.
Nona Cooks for
Nona
sure.
Cooks.
But there's no quarterback that would have ended up there that anybody would have been happy with. If Mitchell goes in and plays good football, Pittsburgh will love him. If he goes and plays bad football, like we've seen at times there at the end of his Chicago Bears run, they will hate him just like everybody else. But the Steelers make a play. Did they outbid the Giants? I guess we'll have to find out what the contract is. Speaking of contracts, a man who is going to earn a big one someday for his incredible work on the television. His brain is so big when it comes to quarterback discussion that he's just been dubbed the quarterback guru of all of television. Ladies and gentlemen, out of UConn, former NFL quarterback, now you see him 9 hours a day on ESPN, Dan Orlovsky. Hello, Dano.
What up, guys?
Hey, let's talk about it real quick. News of the day. Mitchell Trubisky goes to Pittsburgh. What do you think he learned in Buffalo that'll make him a different quarterback than he was at the end of his run with the Chicago Bears? Should Pittsburgh fans be pumped about this? Diggs is. Not all of Pittsburgh is.
I think he learned got to
turn that thing sideways. Turn your phone sideways.
All right, I think he learned that if you've got some stuff athletically, you can be reliant on that a little bit more than other stuff. Like if you watch Josh Allen play, Josh is really reliant on his athleticism at times. Sometimes it's not necessary and it helps him make plays. And I think Mitch was held back in Chicago when it came to that stuff. Like that wasn't promoted in his game. Yeah. So I think he's probably a little bit more comfortable being reliant on that. I think for Pittsburgh, it gives them the opportunity to not have to draft somebody. Right? Unless the guy that they absolutely love falls to them. They have a starting quarterback now in Trubisky that is – I'm interested to see what he does with better talent. And I don't know if Matt Canada's scheme is significantly better than what he had in Chicago, but better talent. But I think that if the guy that they love – like I can just tell you right now, if Malik Willis is there at 20, you jump all over him and draft him. But at least this gives you the piece to know that you don't have to go get somebody that you don't love.
I saw you tweet that if Malik Willis was 6'10", he'd be a great point guard in the NBA or something like that. I forget what was your tweet. You said like.
I think 6'10" for a point guard is a little long. Probably more of a swing 3. But if he was 6'4",
could do whatever
he'd be a lock top 5 pick.
Yeah, but like in saying that, it's like, okay, Dan, if Dan Orlovsky ran a 4.3, he would have been a lock for tight end. Like that's just not who he is. Do you think it is because of his height, smaller school, that they're not as much love? What do you think it is about him?
I think it's his height. The small school stuff is a thing of the past a little bit more than it used to be. And I also think the point of the tweet was the size is becoming a little bit more a thing of the past. Now, people could say, well, Kyler was, measured short and Baker measured short, but they still went 1. My pushback would be I think it's probably fair to say both of those players have some question marks about their performances on the field, a little bit. So, I just think I'm intrigued by the kid because he's got Josh Allen type of vibes written all over him. He just isn't as big.
Well, Josh Allen runs like a power and stuff like that. If they do that with Malik, I'll be excited for it. I see Big Swagoo walk in back here. You guys getting ready for NFL Live? A lot of legal tampering happening today, Dano.
Yeah, the Big Swagoo's here. He said he started his intermittent fasting. He's trying to get ready for beach season. And we got NFL Live today, obviously, with all the moves. So,
who do you think is next?
I just saw a tweet. What do I think is next? I think the Deshaun stuff, Deshaun Watson stuff with his meetings with the Panthers and the Saints.
Hey, you're looking thin already, dude.
He said you look fat.
No. That's the shit, Dan. That's that shit. You did that to Carson Wentz on Get Up.
That's
you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And then you put me in a bad spot with all Philadelphia and Carson Wentz, which, by the way, we haven't even talked about, I don't think, since. He's going to do great with the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to do great with the Commanders. But that's that shit you just did right there. All right, let's get back into it, though. Deshaun Watson's market's going to be huge. And I know the internet says just because the grand jury didn't choose to indict him doesn't mean he's innocent. Okay. The NFL, though, is viewing him as we can now get this guy on our team. New Orleans, Carolina allegedly meeting with him. Seattle's been tied to him. The Giants have numerous picks and Saquon's potentially on the trade block. You look at all these teams. Is he going to be, you think he's going to go somewhere soon? And how many teams do you think are legitimately in on that?
Yeah, I think he's going to go somewhere probably over the next couple weeks would be my guess. I think this, Pat, if I was the Houston Texans, there'd be a 0% chance he stays in the AFC. 0. Because I know he's a top 5 player, and so his market from the NFC is going to be big enough. I think everybody in the NFC should call the Houston Texans to see what would it cost to acquire Deshaun Watson outside of Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Dallas, the Rams, Chicago since they have Justin, and Kirk Cousins, and Minnesota since they just gave Kirk Cousins a ton more money. Everybody else should call and see what it costs to get him.
Yeah, Buffalo as well. Did you? And then Pittsburgh also because they just got Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, well, they're in the AFC. So if you're in the AFC, I'm not even fielding your phone call if I'm Houston.
Oh, so you think it is going to be like that with Houston? You don't think Houston just try to get rid of him, however, with whoever has the best deal?
I don't think they have to have that mindset because he is such a tremendous player on the field that the NFC is going to have plenty of teams interested in his market will be big enough.
Okay. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins getting this another year extension deal, guaranteed money. Absolute G. Okay, business-wise, absolute G. He came into the NFL. Everybody sees Kirk Cousins now. He came into the NFL. He's backing up RG3 in the same building during the same years in the same draft class. Very uncomfortable, very awkward. Then from now, the exposés that we heard about the Washington football team's operation from them, the ability to just stay locked in, lead them to a couple wins, get franchise tag. Then if the behind-the-scenes footage is correct, he used the Jets as leverage against the Vikings and got a fully guaranteed contract, which we all thought this is going to be the new precedent for all quarterbacks. It did not. Now he's getting more guaranteed numbers over there with a new head coach. You think Kirk Cousins can win over there? That's the big question. Can Kirk Cousins win a Super Bowl that is worthy of all this money he's getting guaranteed paid? Do you think he can or no?
I don't think so.
Oh, Dan!
Wow.
Oh, Dan!
I mean, he's been the highest paid player in football over the last 4 or 5 seasons, and I think he's 3 games above 500. I think Kirk's a good player. I think Kirk probably is a really good player for the great majority of the time. But to sit here and say, win a Super Bowl, I just don't believe that team is talented enough roster-wise to go do that. So I get it. Part of me understands it with Minnesota because you've got a good player who, again, borderline's really good for extended periods of time, but they just chose not to chase great at that position because it's tough to look at the landscape of the NFL right now with all the young freaking superstars at that position and think, oh, we'll be okay with a guy who's just good.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins is obviously going to take offense to that. And we'll see. Well, you remember, he went down to Jerry World and then down to New Orleans.
That's right.
Was able to do it. Winning a Super Bowl is a much different animal. Speaking of chasing greatness, what the hell's going on in this city, Dan? Hey, what the Mari Cooper, bag of balls in a washer machine, basically, to go to Cleveland, swap a 6th-round pick, 5th-round pick. We need weapons here. The Colts aren't rumored to be in on Jarvis Landry, but let's just assume they are. The quarterback market, we didn't go all in for Matthew Stafford, didn't go all in for Russell Wilson. Tom Brady was obviously available a few years ago. What's going on in Indy, and how do you see this working out? Jimmy G comes here. Are we okay? How's the gabagool? Gardner Minshew comes here. How's the gabagool? Him and Flint wearing leather jackets. What do you think happens here in Indianapolis at that position and as a whole?
Dude, I think the Colts are in a tough spot.
So much money! We have all the money! How are we in such a tough spot, Dano?
All right, here's my point. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. They all have 2 things in common, in my opinion. 5 of those dudes are absolute rock stars at the position, and they all have good teams around them. So you got 5 young players that at that spot are absolute studs, and they got good rosters. Then you put in a Russell Wilson, who's older but a really good roster. Mac Jones, who's a good player, who's going to have another good roster. The Colts have a good roster, but they don't have a guy. And if you're the Colts and you sit there and go, well, we're one of those teams that's got a good roster, if you just get a good quarterback, you're not going to get through those other 5 guys because they also have good rosters. So the fact that the Colts don't have a dude at the position in some ways, to me, minimizes the roster a little bit because it's such a good roster outside of the wide receiver skill. But it's just they can't hang with those other 5 guys, and that's why there's not an answer at the quarterback spot.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Paisana, Diana, how you doing? Hey, how's the gabagool? That's fucked up you just said that, Dan. Because there are a lot of valid points there. Because honestly, Gardner is potentially going to come over here, and we just need somebody that's not going to check out of runs. Like your guy Carson, checking out of runs.
That's right.
Doing his, let's talk about it now before the boys have
See, I disagree with that a little bit. Like, that's my point. Oh, my God. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to come, but if the Colts in their roster play against the Chargers in their roster, you take it. Or Buffalo in their roster. Or Kansas City in theirs. Or Lamar and the Ravens finally healthy. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, while I love the Colts roster – and I love Chris and Frank, I don't think that having a good player is good enough.
Jim Irsay's not going to be happy about anything you just said, but a lot of them made a lot of points. All right? I don't care because the gabagool is going to be delicious. When Jimmy G is wheeling and dealing that ball to fucking Jonathan Taylor left, Jonathan Taylor right, Jonathan Taylor left, let's punt. All right? Boom. Let's go ahead and gain some.
Jimmy Garoppolo with a top 5 offensive mind in football last year and as diverse skill talent in the NFL threw for 20 touchdowns and 12 picks.
All right, what are you saying? I mean, he was hurt. He had the thumb and the shoulder, and he had the lat thing that was going on too. And also, his Nona stopped cooking.
Yeah.
You saw that on the Subway commercial. His Nona said, "Nah, I'm not making any more gravy.
Yeah,
Get the hell out of here. Eat yourself. Go to Subway." I mean, that's a tough thing. Just think about the mental. I mean, that's not easy, dude. Are you a big old Carson threw 27 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions guy? Is that your thing?
No, I think you can make numbers say whatever you want them to say.
Thank you.
But I don't think Carson was great, and I don't think that Carson was terrible. I thought Carson was like solid.
Did you watch? You didn't watch the games?
No. Are you talking to me like a person does on Twitter that goes, "Oh, you probably have never seen a Colts game before"? You're right. You're right. I've never watched a snap, guys.
All right. So you saw this one in the end zone against the Titans, fourth quarter?
Yeah. I didn't say like he didn't have to make a single bad play. I said I thought he's played solid.
Oh, we're just talking single? So you think just that play?
I saw the Buccaneers game when they built a 3-score lead and then couldn't stop them. Or I saw the Ravens game when they scored a ton of points and couldn't stop them. Like, I saw those games.
All right. You talk about the games where he checked out of runs and said, this is Carson time. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about?
Look at that photo.
Both his ankles sprained, that play right there. Could have just
You're
fell.
an idiot.
Who's an idiot? Who's an idiot? Listen, let me say this about your guy Carson. Okay?
He's not my guy.
There we go.
Dan, it was tough to watch some mornings. When you're doing your entire thing. I'm going to be the head coach of the Eagles thing. Whenever you were talking about Carson every single day.
I became a little too emotionally invested. Correct. But that's my wife's fault. Like, I love my wife. I like my wife. So, like, I blame her.
All right, well, whatever. She's from Philly, Eagles fan. Right. That's what he's talking about there. But your entire, like, the way you were selling him there for a while, everybody's like, well, that's not accurate. Then he had that run where he was insane. I don't know how you watched his games and was like, yeah, that's a guy that I would want to quarterback a team that I'm a fan of. Every play, Dan.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like he takes you on, and there was way too many falls in the past year or two than they were climbs.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Normally the climb is like the fun part. Like, all right, oh my God, this is going to be exciting. What are we going to do? And then bang, halfway up, he was going down. We're doing circles. We're spraining both of our ankles, and then we're going back up again. Here we go.
Images.
What's that, dude? This is when he chose. He is down. That is like the greatest football player of all time. And he said,
I was working with my son yesterday, some quarterback stuff, and I was like, buddy, what's the number one thing you can't do? And he was like, turn the football over, give the ball to the other team. I was like, right. And he's like, hey, Dad, if no one's open downfield, what am I supposed to do? And I was like, well, if your offensive line's blocking good and no one's near you, you can, continue to keep your feet active. He's like, well, what happens if someone comes near me? I was like, dude, you throw that thing as far as you can out of bounds.
That's good coaching. How come you never told Carson that?
I don't know. That's kind of what went through my mind was I should have relayed that in some way to Carson Wentz.
Yeah, and those impassioned speeches you were giving on Get Up, like at the end of them, yes, he can learn how to just say, this play's over. I understand that. He's just too tough for his own good. Maybe he should play linebacker. Yeah. Go ahead, Ty.
Dano, when you look at the Packers, obviously they're up against it right now with the cap, and we're kind of just waiting to see what happens with Rodgers. There's a lot of turnover with the skill positions on offense, too. We've heard a report that Jarvis Landry might be a target for them and then he isn't or whatever. But do you think it's going to be a situation where the Packers are basically just going to have to grab guys off the scrap heap and it'll be up to Rodgers to kind of make them household names? Or are they actually going to be somewhat aggressive and trying to put a couple good pieces around him?
I think they'll be aggressive to put pieces around Aaron. I feel like everybody's talking about the Green Bay and Tampa Bay situations. Like both quarterbacks went in blind. Like there weren't conversations had with the decision makers. I'm sure Aaron sat down with Gutekunst and said, "If I come back, how do we build a team around that we can win a Super Bowl?" Because Lazard's a free agent, and then all the number 3 receivers are free agents. So I would imagine that there's been a very tactical plan about how they were going to go about their business and try to, get pieces opposite Davante. I also said this morning, like everyone assumed we don't know what Aaron's number is going to be. I'm willing to bet that Aaron's number is going to be similar to Tom's when it comes to cap hit this year to make sure that they can have some type of talent around him to go win. So there's no point in having Aaron Rodgers and me as your wide receiver. So I would imagine that those conversations have been had and planned, and there's been a multiple step plan in place that if I do come back, this is how we go get guys that are good enough for us to win in January and in February.
Jarvis Landry has been tied to the Packers. Then Josine Anderson said, nah. Do you think that's something, and obviously you're speaking from a speculative standpoint as much as us, even though we talk to the guy weekly during the season, these are signs that you would assume that Aaron Rodgers is at least being listened to in these conversations, right? Jarvis is a guy that every quarterback would want on his team. Am I accurate in saying that?
Yeah, because you just love his mentality. He's phenomenal with the ball in his hands. Like, he does all the dirty work, the hard work. He's like, hey, get it to him, and he can go make some stuff happen. So I would imagine that they would be asking Aaron about that, and I would, again, Aaron would be probably interested in getting Jarvis, but I thought one of you guys made a good point. Maybe it was Ty previous. Like, I'm certainly not going to shell out a bunch of coin to Jarvis right now when Davante's sitting there saying, hey, what about me? So you probably have to cross that bridge first.
Yeah, the Davante thing, because how many more times does he get a chance to go? I think is probably business-wise what he's thinking. How many more chances do I have? What else do I have to do to prove a long-term deal? I started out as maybe not the guy. I've worked my ass off. I've become the guy. I understand Aaron's helped out, but I've helped him out a lot as well. Business-wise, it makes sense for Davante to say, nah.
Well, I also think you learn from the stuff that you did, or certainly that ticked Aaron off for such a long time, and making sure that, I get that there is a business aspect of it, but also there's a relational aspect of it. And Davante has not only earned it, but he deserves it. So you don't want to piss off another, franchise legend in a way to rub another person the wrong way.
And bring in Jarvis as well. Just keep those weapons flowing. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Dan, you mentioned Mac Jones. Do you think that he needs like a true number one wide receiver to take the next step, or how do you think he does that just with the team that he has now?
I don't think he needs a true number one, but I think he needs an upgrade at the position. True number ones, I don't know how many there are in the league, probably 8 or so. But your leading receiver can't average 10 yards per catch. Jacoby Myers is their leading guy. In the NFL nowadays, it's just too hard to constantly be so efficient on offense because your inability to create explosive plays. So you've got to go get a guy that is an upgrade at the, hey, we could push the ball downfield type of role. And I don't know if that's Allen Robinson. I don't know. Obviously, Ridley was a potential trade target, but that's not going to happen.
What?
The draft is loaded with some guys, but they've got to upgrade that wide receiver position for sure.
Hey, Calvin Ridley had an 11-teamer that could have got him like 145 grand or something like that. 145 grand. He's like, oh, this is fun. All right. $500 gets me 145,000. Holy shit.
Easy.
Time, man.
What a game. What a game this is. This is what everybody's doing out here. Unbelievable. Go ahead, Tony.
I got a buddy. Remember a couple months, maybe 2 months ago, I sent you a video. I was out to dinner with a guy who said like he was making a bunch of money off your picks or something like that. Oh, yeah. I just found out this weekend he has gambled. Now, I think he's up $20,000. And this is not a guy that's got a gajillion. He's gambled $500,000 in the last 6 weeks.
Jesus. Doing what?
Because of you.
No, it's not because of me. It's probably because...
Don't look at me. Don't put that on me.
It's probably him or Dahn.
Yeah.
By the way, they're up, so he's
living.
Hey, that a baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Congratulations. Now, with that being said, since your friend Dano just projected that live, the IRS has heard this too. So make sure you do your proper, checks and balances. Last question here, as we know Dano's got to go. Go ahead, Tone.
Dano, thanks first and foremost for saying Mitch is the best quarterback in the NFL. Secondly, I also saw you tweeting great stuff about Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. Is there one of those two that you prefer going into the draft?
I think Malik right now. I think Malik Willis. Malik is probably. I'm like 6 or 7 games into his season. He's already got 10 or 12 like WTF plays. Ron, I just go, holy, you're the only guy in this draft.
What? Holy what?
Stuff.
Holy what?
Yeah, you're the only guy in this draft class that's doing that stuff. I don't.
Holy shoot!
Holy, whatever you want to fill in. We'll just go blank line, okay?
So hold on, just quick question. In your head, you said it though, right?
Yes.
So God heard you say it in your head too, right? Didn't he?
Maybe.
Oh shit!
Oh, you're so screwed, dude.
Welcome to hell, bro!
Oh my
God!
He's got the most like holy
That's
smokes.
big news.
It's huge. Dan's going to hell.
Yeah.
And I've heard the kid is a phenomenal kid.
Phenomenal.
I'm actually going to speak this week with Hugh Freeze. I hit Hugh Freeze up just like I'd like to talk to you about him. So I'm going to talk with him on Thursday because I think the kid's tremendously talented. He reminds me a lot of Josh Allen. He's just not as big. Kenny Pickett, though, is out of the guys that I've watched, is the most consistent high-level performer. Like, if Kenny Pickett gets drafted into a West Coast offense, he's got to clean up his mechanics. They're too sloppy. He reminds me a little bit of Romo, trying to, sometimes his feet, why are your feet all over the place? A little bit like Sam Darnold coming out without the turnovers, without the interception issues, which is a big thing.
That's a huge part of it.
He's really high consistently performing, but I get a little bit concerned with they run the same play almost all the time, Pittsburgh, so he's got a really good feel for it. It happens when you got to diversify, and then also just he doesn't have a big arm to push it downfield. He's not Mac either. Like he don't like Mac. So.
Oh yeah.
Hey, just real quick, I watched you break down a play that Kenny Pickett did, and you kind of threw the offensive line under the bus. You were wrong. I know you heard from many offensive linemen about how wrong you were on that. I just want to let you know, when I watched it, my first thought was, Dan doesn't know anything about protection at all.
Yikes.
That was literally my thought as I watched the Kenny Pickett play that you broke down. But I know other offensive linemen have kind of got a hold of you and said the same thing, Dan.
McGlinchey, no, wasn't. Who was it? Who hit me up? The guy, Mike McGloin, maybe.
Mike McGlynn. Okay, have a little fucking respect for Grease.
There's a lot of that Irish mix.
Whoa.
You said the F word earlier. God heard you. Now you're out here with these mix talk.
Jeez,
man, who are you, pal?
I mean, still, protection is about numbers. It was still 6-on-6. So
no, you were wrong because the mic was shaded to the left. So actually, the guy was looking at they're sorting to the right. You didn't even know what you were talking about.
Then the back should scrape across.
No, but the back had the mic and he didn't come, so he actually left.
You told me the mic was backside for the offensive line.
He was left, yeah, eyes left. That's where he was supposed to sort it, and then he didn't come, so he fucking left.
Scrape across.
Yeah, the hot was the hot. Yeah, that was on him. No, the hot was the hot. It was exactly what was supposed to happen. You
just called it a hot and not a hot.
Yeah, well, you don't know football, Dan. All right? No, you actually do, and I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate that one was kind of embarrassing, though, to all of us that know offensive line play. It was a little bit embarrassing, but that's neither here nor there. You made Kenny.
Why are you saying offensive line play but moving like a quarterback?
Well, I'm the new hybrid.
Yeah.
You look great. You look like you lost a couple of LBs. The arms look good. You look good, bud.
Well, it's good lighting, too. That's really good lighting right there. Look at those things. Huh? I mean, I'm getting after it, Dano.
Shoulders getting broad.
Yeah, come on, man. I got WrestleMania coming up. You know what I mean?
I know, dude. I will tell you, the social post of last week was very cool.
Well, thank you. Very real, Fox.
I got a good buddy of mine, Pat, who used to hate you, who loves you now, by the way.
Oh, cool. Well, he's probably the same guy you just outed for gambling hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nonetheless, tell all your buddies we said hello, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll watch NFL Live as this day continues. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky. All right, let's get to a break. A lot has happened while we're talking to Dan. Some people got paid. Some people moved. We'll update all of that around the NFL and your phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. I did get into a little bit of a scuffle on Friday.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a scuffle. I'd call it an ass beating.
Well,
well
hey,
said.
listen, You've been down to Southside before.
I have been.
All right, you've been through Morgantown a little bit,
Well,
2, 3 a.m.
yeah.
Every once in a while. How many times can you get smacked in the face without saying, hey, you know what? Hey, fuck you, pal. And that's basically what happened.
Guy bumps his gums like that, he's going to have to pay the piper eventually. You know?
Hey, those boots, those Lucchese's.
Yeah.
Not a lot of grip on the bottom of those.
Oh, a little slippy.
A little slippy out there. I was going to base jump. As I was going to get on the table, well, you could actually see me go, well, all right, here we go. I was going to base jump up onto the thing, but then I thought, what happens if the heel of the Lucchese hits it? I didn't want to do it. All was happening in real time there. Pretty fantastic. Anyways, say hello to your nightmare, punk.
Hell yeah.
WrestleMania Sunday, April 3rd. Tickets on sale now. Only available on the Peacock. I'm getting into good shape. I'm going
You
real
look
hard.
fantastic.
I'm going real hard right now. I'd like to let everybody know that. Hard. I don't have a lot of days left, but when I get in there, you got to be at your absolute best at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
And my moment's going to be one that says, holy shit, look at that, dude. We'll see you in 4 minutes. Hopefully I don't, just blow out every muscle in my body. 34 years old, getting a little bit older. I've outlived Jesus. Will I outlive this training for WrestleMania? Who knows? TBD. We'll see you in 4 with updates on what's going on around the NFL. You're the best. Now it's time for SmackDown Rumble Championship Weekend. We just had another Super Boost!
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Hey, here we go! All the wins. Yeah. Gotta get a no call to quit. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. But I'm moving out the way 'cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of it. You might get my home. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with Gary. Hey, my dude.
Squeeze the bike. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do.
I have a good try.
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get
Coltrane has gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, down, wanna when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The road switching through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. Guess what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. You still got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them.
Oh, fuck you, Pin.
Cole, that is one of the worst of all time.
The worst portals of all time. And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows what is doing right now. And a blue stick.
Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link. Obviously, good watch. Pinky chain. Gold plated Steve Madden.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight, dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go!
It is an honor to see the man.
Once your ratings get this low, then I'll come to Buffalo.
That's why you're a good guy.
A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, great to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a 4 seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. Takes down Sami Zayn. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope back, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man
they have, because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight with Bobby Lashley, comes into the Royal Rumble and is an absolute ass-kicking machine.
We just had another super boost. Back to back. Back to back.
One. Today's show is presented by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save your money. It's the best finance app going, and that's why we're working with them on all of our giveaways.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can buy pieces of any stock or Bitcoin with as little as $1.
Wow.
That's right. Shout out to Cash App. If you aren't on Cash App yet, go use code McAfee when you sign up. That's MCAFEE for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code McAfee for a free $15. Terms do apply. You will read them when you sign up. Shout out to Cash App. We are also giving away a Bitcoin to the person that wins our Bracket Bonanza 2.0.
Dang.
We have a QR code that you can scan to get you immediately in there. It is the March Madness website that is housing all of the brackets. You just got to search PMS Bonanza 2.0 or scan this QR code. First place receives a Bitcoin. Second place receives lunch with Mitt and an autographed Baby Duke by all the boys. Third place, just an autographed Baby Duke.
Pretty solid prize.
Still awesome.
How about that lunch with Mitt for second place?
Oh, man.
It's going to be a blast.
That's worth more than a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We should have thought about switching 2 and 1 maybe.
I might bid for that myself.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you're going to have to put together a hell of a bracket, pal, because you're going to have to come in second place for that.
I got a good bracket.
Early shines on my bracket. Perfect.
Really?
Yeah, perfect bracket also in our bracket thing. Get you $1 million.
Holy shit.
If multiple people get perfect, we will split the million through multiple people.
Right.
Naturally.
With that being said, I will be paying me $1 million. It sounds like.
I'll split it with you, pal. We can split it.
Oh, Gump, you're going perfect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It looks pretty good.
Well, it feels like
My
with,
side of things.
Yeah, with your college basketball gambling, I mean, you might.
He could.
But it's not college basketball, or it's not anarchy. It's just college basketball. Speaking of, we have Jeff Goodman joining us in the third hour to break down all things happening in the March Madness world. Formerly of ESPN, Ty's been communicating with him. I guess he's currently out in Vegas right now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he asked if we would like him to call from the casino floor, the strip, or his hotel room.
Yep, giving us a lot of options.
We said, Jeff, listen, all those are electrifying, but the hotel room is completely okay. We'd like to hear the words coming out of your mouth. But if he's already offering those up, I wonder what state of mind Jeff Goodman's in.
Yeah.
How's he feel about the bracket?
I don't know about the bracket. He did say that he was taking it on the shins at the blackjack table earlier this morning. So hopefully
it'll turn. The tide will turn. Get that new deck in there. Get that new dealer in there. Everything will work out. We'll talk to him in about 25 minutes or so. Around the NFL, while we talk to Dan Orlovsky, host of NFL Live, Quandre Diggs of the Seattle Seahawks signed a 3-year deal worth $40 million to stay in Seattle. He's obviously a safety. This came through Rappaport. Congrats to the Seahawks and to Quandre Diggs. Yeah. Both their safeties now, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs getting paid a lot of money. Go ahead, Tom.
Jamal Adams got 4 years, $70 million. So a lot of money in that secondary.
Yeah, which is, by the way, maybe they're trying to rebuild that back up. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be Drew Lock, or is it going to be a trade maybe for Deshaun Watson? Pete Carroll, 70-plus years old, although they got rid of Russell Wilson for a slew of picks and a few players. This is not a rebuild, they said. They're still paying their guys from within. Also, I believe the Chicago Bears paid Larry Ogunjobi out of the Bengals on a $40.5 million deal, including $26.35 million guaranteed per source. He's a D lineman going from the Bengals to the Chicago Bears. Eberflus must have loved him. This is breaking via Adam Schefter. Look at the Bears getting in the game.
There you go. Watch out, Aaron.
Larry Ogunjobi, big-time name, been around the league for a bit, going up there to shore up some veteran leadership for Eberflus in the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, does that mean they're not bringing back Akeem Hicks? Because isn't he their other guy in the middle there? And obviously they already let Matt go.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It feels like they are in the middle of rebuilding an our vision type thing. Yeah. Eberflus's defense with the Colts was very good. Didn't make the playoffs this last year. But it wasn't because of the defense at all. And if you listen to any of the defenders talk about what practice is like, what the standard is like, what the culture is like, I'm excited to see Eberflus get his hands on the Chicago Bears organization as a whole and that defense. Speaking of the Bears organization as a whole, that fucker's up for sale soon.
Yeah.
The Bears are about to be up for sale. Allegedly, Virginia McCaskey, the lady who is currently in charge of the entire operation. Virginia McCaskey is not well. She's 99 years old, I believe, and things inside the McCaskeys are not either. Hughes wrote on March 11th from Heavy.com, the family has rarely been in this much turmoil over the last 30 years, and there are some close to the organization who believe a sale might actually be on the table once Virginia passes. So this is family members getting pissed off about the percentage of the Bears franchise that is being given to them. Let's assume that one particular member or sibling was going to get a lot of them, a lot of the percentages, more percentage than the others, and the others are pissed off about it. So there's inner scuffle happening.
Yeah.
So much so that it'll probably lead to a sale, which is what I would assume the 3 that weren't going to get as much, or 4, however many, are looking for.
Yeah.
With that being said, Chicago, 3rd largest city in America?
Second, I think.
Nope. 3rd largest city in America? Houston's 4th, working on becoming the 3rd.
Phoenix, too.
Phoenix is 5. They're working on becoming 4th.
We just had a lot of babies there the other day.
Yeah, Chicago, a lot of
Baby
sex.
boom.
A lot of sex, a lot of baby booms happening. But 3rd largest city in America with a franchise that is very old, legendary, and a fan base that is very loyal. That might be like $6-7 billion, $8 billion maybe, to purchase that team. That's exciting times because the Broncos up for sale. Bears might be up for sale. The Chargers were in a conversation for potential happening at one point. It's a wild time to have a lot of money and be in the NFL.
If they sell end of this year and then they already have like the blueprints of the new stadium, what happens with ownership change with that like situation?
You acquire everything. I assume the new owner could say, we will build this in our vision or whatever, but they're still going to Arlington. No, still know the Arlington Bears are still going to be running wild all over you, brother, especially if you're able to buy the Bears. You probably have a lot of money, going to want to build up casino, Patriot Place, hotels, shops, stores, which is why the Arlington thing seemed to be so, attractive.
So buyers just love that because you're being able to build it from scratch and whatever you want, right?
Shape it in your image.
Exactly. Yeah.
But also you're getting the Chicago Bears, which are legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Papa Bear.
Very famous fans, too. So as soon as you become the owner, you automatically become even more relevant. And there are some people out there that have all the money. All the money.
But basically, T's and P's to Mama Bear, first and foremost. Hope she's all right.
Virginia, I hope you're okay.
Love you, Mama Bear.
Good luck. You can do this.
While we're sending out T's and P's, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. T's and P's, pal.
T's and P's.
It's not looking good. Guy had multiple heart attacks. He was just too sweet. Work hard, dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. I obviously, big fan. Even pulled up in the middle of a Monday Night Football game against the Jets, hearing sad stories about what's going on with Scott Hall. Hell of a run. Obviously made decisions outside of the ring that'll be documented and talked about forever. But anybody that's ever met him, myself included, was like, hey, super genuine, cool dude to us, battled his demons, did his thing. T's and P's, Scott Hall. Thank you for your service to our entertainment.
Thank you, Scott.
Hope Virginia is also well there.
Right.
There's some breaking news out of the Pittsburgh Steelers world. Super Bowl odds for the Pittsburgh Steelers go from plus 5,500 after Trubisky plus 7,000.
What's that all about? What's that all about?
Okay, so let's talk about this. Sportsbooks, FanDuel in particular, whenever they didn't know who the quarterback was going to be for the Steelers, they said, all right, 55-1. So then they signed Trubisky to a deal, and they go, all right, 70-1 all of a sudden. Put it down, jot it down. This type of movement is hysterical to talk about because this is the respect amongst the odds makers for each individual player. For instance, when Carson Wentz left the Indianapolis Colts and went to the Washington Commanders, they remained at 60-1 the entire time. 60-1 pre-Commander Carson, 61 post-Commander Carson. So the sports books, the odds makers, the people that are in charge of making a lot of money for the sports books, who have to handicap and put proper pricing on things so they don't lose their ass. That's their entire world every single day, every single week. Futures bets are a big deal. No change at all. That's why whenever you see like what happened when Tom Brady went and saw Cristiano Ronaldo score 3 goals and said, I'm coming back, the Bucks went from 28-1 to 7.5-1.
Jeez.
Okay, that's called swinging the needle, pal.
Yeah.
That's called, oh shit, we ain't letting this guy fucking take us for money again. So Commander Carson goes over, 0 change. Mitchell Trubisky goes to Pittsburgh. Odds get worse for the Steelers. Tom Brady goes back to the Buccaneers. They go from 28 to 1 to 7.5 to 1. That is what you call a big time switch. Now, does that scare you at all, Tone, with how much respect you have for odds makers like John over there at FanDuel saying, oh, the team just got worse signing Trubisky?
No, I've got a chance to meet and talk to these people, and they don't know their ass from a hole in the wall, so I'm not worried about this at all. It's just better value.
Hell yeah.
You've met the guy. I can't wait for the next time you talk to him to tell him. That's fucking classic.
Yeah. Smack him right in the mouth.
Mitchell Trubisky, this team got worse. Oh, my God. We thought they were potentially going to get... Yeah, who did the bookmakers think that was going to be quarterback? Right. Mason?
Well, it was originally 7,000, and then a lot of people jumped on that value. Me. And it went to 5,500 last few weeks, and so they probably just went back to 7,000.
It's for the people. They're doing it for the people. Like, hey, if you missed it just a couple weeks ago,
here's the deal.
We're back in it if you want, now. But we will move it back to 55. That's awesome. That seems like that's what sports books and FanDuel does.
They do.
How about the Tom Brady movement, though?
Absurd.
28 to 1 to 7.5 to 1.
Hey, they probably those people had the Bengals at 12,000 last year, though. So too.
That's got to be the biggest swing for one person signing in history of the NFL.
By far.
For sure.
Has to be. Aaron moves. There was a needle move when Aaron went back to Green Bay. I think they were like plus 140 to win the NFC North, and then he went to minus 220 after Aaron came back. So that's quite a swing. It's not 28-1 to 7.5 to 1 like what happened for the Super Bowl bet for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pre-Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 3 goals saying, what the fuck are you doing to Tom Brady? Post-Tom Brady signing back there. But there's a couple guys that I feel like the odds makers really respect, and I guess there's a couple people that they don't respect at all.
Well, and that's what's so interesting is like when Rodgers was kind of up in the air, the Packers odds still kind of, I mean, they never moved that much because I think people actually thought that he wasn't coming back. Like this does kind of just go to show too that like people thought Brady was done, because if they didn't, like this is a big hit.
How come everybody was saying, I knew he was coming back, I knew he was coming back? I guess we all talked about it and speculated about it, but none of us really actually thought he was coming back this soon, especially after Bruce Arians. Well, I think just like a lot of these guys wants a fucking name out there.
There was
you want to trade for Tom Brady? 5 fucking ones. Yeah, I mean, we'll leave the light on for that motherfucker if he wants to come back. And now he's coming back. It's like, was everybody just so sure he was coming back?
One guy was. I don't remember. We talked to Chris Andrews a while ago, who runs the South Point in Vegas. There was a guy who made a large bet at 50 to 1 on the Bucs to win the Super Bowl, 40 or 30 to 1 because they had to drop it, and then 25 to 1 because they had to drop it more. And then when Brady actually came back, they had to put it to like 3 to 1 lower than everybody else because they're fucked now.
You're saying last week?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, last week somebody bet 4 massive bets on Bucs futures. This isn't like months ago. Last week on like a Thursday, somebody bet 4 massive future bets on the Bucs. Damn. So everybody started, who's this person?
Yeah.
This person had to have known something, and then all of a sudden on Sunday, Tom Brady puts a tweet, I've tried this family thing. That day will come. It ain't now. Okay, Uber Tom is no longer as much fun as I thought it was. Parent-teacher conference, Tom, not as fun as I thought it was.
Oh,
hey, let's play tag in the middle of the day. Tom, not as much fun as I thought it was going to be. He comes all the way back, but somebody had a little bit of an inkling is what people are thinking out there.
Yeah, so Jeff Darlington or Jim Gray are about to make, what, $2 million off of these bets? Is that actually how much money they're going to win?
I mean, at some point they'll find out, right? Somebody's going to have to collect on that if they end up winning. Imagine if the Bucs end up winning. From 28 to 1 to 7.5 to 1. Just like that. The books are like, oh my God, I got this motherfucker.
Definitely
sending Cristiano Ronaldo messages like, oh, you had to be so goddamn good on that one day.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
By the way, that was a game we should have known Cristiano was going to ball out. Yeah. It was just like the Kevin Durant in Philadelphia game. Fuck you, I'm Kevin Durant. Felt like that was that Philly game because he was on the Boardroom's podcast. I forget the name of the podcast. Anyways, he was on there, and he said, it's not normal that a regular season game looks like or feels like a playoff game. Like, I like that it feels like a playoff game. And it was like, oh, okay, this dude's about to be locked in.
Yeah.
And then the fuck Ben Simmons chants are out there and everything. And Kyrie locks down James Harden because they felt like James Harden did them dirty as well.
Right.
That felt like the most obvious. If we followed the soccer close enough, Cristiano Ronaldo got benched last game. Then we should have known, this is the fuck you, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo game. He hit like a 120 kilometer per hour knuckleball top shed to score. Then Tom Brady's in the building.
Yeah.
We should have known.
The writing was on the wall.
We should have made money off the sport we don't know much about. But Tom definitely sitting up there amongst the English hooligans, seeing how they act during the game, and then seeing Cristiano dissect. Definitely a part of the whole. I'm fucking done with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Get me back in the goddamn arena.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of both ways too. I bet his family was like, okay, we thought you were gonna like kind of take it easy and like actually be retired. Like, you're right. Like, get the fuck out of here. You need to go play football.
Yeah, we're all done eating this avocado ice cream if you're not playing. So get it out of the house.
Yeah,
pick one.
And he's like, no, I got to stick with it. Got to keep the body going. For what? What do you got? Good question. I don't know. And then he gets like lost. And then Cristiano Ronaldo has a 14-pack.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's fucking slicing, dicing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I eat avocado. I'll be pumped to hear what it is. Like, was it immediately upon retirement he felt like he was forced into it because of the public pressure, because Schefter and them already announced it? And was he thinking about it, teetering on it? And then whenever it was, publicly out there, did he feel like obligated to do so almost for all his family and friends? Or is this just classic guy who's the most competitive human of all time, realizing what life is like without the chance to compete for every single day to get better and realizing he wanted to get back in there?
It feels like the latter option because I feel like Tom would have loved to put out a I'm not fucking leaving video after the Darlington and Schefter report instead of being forced or instead of thinking like, oh, I need to retire now because of this report or whatever.
Well, let's go to Jordan in Georgia on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. That's the number 5hourenergy.com. Delicious.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable.
I just took a cherry one. I'm about to go to the moon here.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely love it. What do you want to talk about, Jordan in Georgia?
Hey, Pat, what's going on, man?
Hey, going good.
Long-time viewer, first-time caller. I've always wanted to say that. I wanted to ask you, since Indy's still searching for their QB, you got Jimmy G, Gardner Minshew, Tyrod, Teddy B, James Winston, Newton. Who do you think fits their offense the best?
Anybody that'll just hand the ball off, Jordan. That's who fits our offense. The last chance Q's right now. Jimmy G all of a sudden back in the second desirable position for all the quarterbacks that are potentially on the move. Now that Deshaun Watson is going to be able to pick, it sounds like. He's meeting with teams already. And this is, I assume, what he wanted to do before the 22 allegations that have now been put to rest criminally because a grand jury chose not to indict him, although civilly it's still got to get figured out. And people are saying just because he wasn't indicted by a grand jury does not mean he's innocent. The rest of the NFL does not view it the same way you do. We're just telling you, observing and reporting here like we do Big J journalists. Everybody's going to want him. Now Jimmy G's back in line almost. Marcus Mariota's conversation has heated up a little bit. Gardner Minshew's been linked to the Colts by a couple insiders. Tyrod Taylor's a baller.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I would not mind Tyrod Taylor as an Indianapolis Colt at this point. I wouldn't mind any of these guys. Any of them.
Really? Bring Jacoby home.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Sam Darnold.
I don't want Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Mitchell Trubisky is now a Steeler. So the Steelers are completely out on Deshaun. Anybody else, they found their quarterback. FanDuel says, all right, good. We're going to make these odds even worse now to win the Super Bowl. It's going to be difficult in there. And we talked to Dan Orlovsky, the authority on quarterbacking, earlier in the hour. And he said he doesn't know if Matt Canada's offense is that different than what Nagy was doing with
Canada
Trubisky.
stinks, so that makes sense.
You don't like Matt Canada?
Nah, he stinks.
Better than Nagy.
What's going on there?
This guy's only been offense coordinator 1 year.
Yeah, and that 1 year he stunk.
Tony.
Yeah, but he had Ben Roethlisberger couldn't throw,
No, he could have. He didn't want him.
He's just not holding the offense hostage.
Who?
is.
Who, Canada or Ben?
Canada.
You guys don't like Matt Canada? I didn't know this was something. Like, I didn't know he was like the worst.
What happened?
This guy's a college coordinator.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
How come we haven't been talking louder about that? Maybe.
Couldn't even hack it at the big programs in college either.
Who?
Canada.
Where was he at?
LSU and Pitt and other places too.
Those are good programs.
Yeah, it wasn't. Offenses weren't great when he was there.
Oh, my God.
What's the deal? This guy stinks? What's Tomlin doing? Poor hire?
I don't know.
Mike Tomlin doesn't know what the fuck he's doing? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would never.
You guys
say
are saying
that.
Mike Tomlin doesn't know what he's doing?
What does that have to do with Tomlin?
Is that what you guys are saying?
What's that have to do with Tomlin?
Well, I assume he hired the guy.
Part of his staff.
What does that have to do with what?
Tomlin makes poor decisions. That's what you're saying.
No, I never
You guys
said
are saying this guy stinks. Oh, wow. Colbert has no idea what the fuck he's doing. He might as well run that all the way up. The Rooney family doesn't know what they're doing?
That's going on.
Oh, my
That's what you guys are saying?
Just signed Mitch, so they know exactly what they're doing.
Well, FanDuel says, yeah, making our lives better.
So what do they know?
Get Big Ben in there calling plays.
Exactly. Thank you.
Maybe he will, by the way. Maybe Ben's like, all right, now that I am the headliner of my own Hall of Fame ceremony. Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Jeez Louise.
Tom didn't want any of that.
Yeah, Tom was worried about that. Jacksonville Jaguars have spent some money here, I'm hearing in my ear. Mike Garafolo is reporting that the Jaguars are giving D-tackle Foley Fatukasi. Shout out, Oos. Fatukasi, 3 years, $30 million with $20 million fully guaranteed per his agents at Sports Stars New York City. Atta baby, Foley! Way to go, Foley! Doug Peterson is, kind of locking it all in. What's going on, Zito? Reggie Wayne has officially been titled the Colts wide receiver coach. Welcome back to the Colts, Reggie Wayne. Reggie. That's breaking news. I know they had been courting him for some time, trying to get him back in the building. I believe Chris Ballard and Frank Reich are trying to hire a lot of former players, get them back into the Indianapolis Colts facility, build up that culture and that love for winning. Reggie Wayne, Hall of Famer, is back coaching the wide receivers. That should be great. Let's get him some weapons.
Hey, here we go.
Let's get Reggie Wayne some weapons to work with. Or, Reggie's going to make everybody great. That's probably what they're assuming. We don't need to send a 5th-round pick for a Amari Cooper proven weapon. We don't need to get into these other sweepstakes. Reggie will break them down and make them great. I believe that. But it might be nice to add another weapon to the entire repertoire.
Yeah, definitely can.
We're back in 6 minutes after this break with a beautiful conversation with Jeff Goodman, a man who knows basketball. He's currently at Stadium, has been covering college basketball for 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Should be a good convo with him since the bracket was created just yesterday on CBS. Who does he have winning? Who's shocking people? I can't believe Tennessee was a 3 seed. Oh my God. We're back in 6. Cheers.
It really comes down to, and pardon my French, but giving less fucks. I think that it's a maturity that comes from aging, from making mistakes, from failing, from being too sensitive at times, from taking things too personal at times. And it's about growth and learning not to be indifferent, because I think indifferent people are terrified of making choices, and it's a cold place to live. It's about choosing what to care about, and the things that you do care about, it's less things. It's not trying to be a part of every conversation or get involved in everything or setting yourself up to be offended about certain things. It's caring more about specific things and less things, and with those things, it's finding ways to solve the problems, because true happiness doesn't come from eliminating all problems in your life. I believe it comes from solving the problems that you have and dealing with the pain and the suffering that is natural in life and is a part of life. It's not fleeing from pain and suffering and running from those things and not dealing with the emotional situations. It's looking at those head on and saying, how can I solve these problems and make my life a little bit better? And that's what I've tried to do the last couple of years, and I've talked about in this show as well. It's about perspective. And I truly believe this, when you focus on the things that you have more than the things that you don't have, you allow yourself to let gratitude sink in. And when the gratitude sinks in, it is always accompanied by joy, because you're focusing on the blessings that you have, not on the things that you don't have, the things you wish you had, the way you wish your life was that much better, you wish you had this, you wish you had that. You'll always be unsatisfied. But when you take solace in the fact that you're where you're supposed to be, and that life is going to come at you with pain and suffering and failure and frustrations and mistakes, and just trying to solve those problems and do a little bit better next time, it allows you to, I think, be a little gentler with yourself and admit that you're a human. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be a 500-pound elephant of possibly hatred and malice waiting for you, whatever decision you make, and that's just part of life. You got to deal with it and just try and be better the next time.
So you feel freer, it feels like, huh? You kind of feel free.
Yeah, there's a liberation that comes from caring less about the things that don't really matter in this life, I think. And I will say, if anything, and I know the two of you is the best on this show, and so I won't speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they're very similar. There's a lot of joy in being unapologetically yourself. And I think in life we respect people the most often who are that way, who don't try and change or be different or grow meek in situations that require courage. that go quiet in situations that require communication. And that's what I appreciated in both your friendships, is that you guys have always been yourselves. And Pat, I haven't known you as long as I've known AJ. I sat next to AJ for 9 years, and I have so much love for him and appreciation for the friend that he is. But I always admired and was inspired by the fact that AJ was always himself. And he believed that who he was exactly who he was supposed to be. And he didn't have to be different or put on a face for anybody. He was unabashedly himself. And I think there's a lot to be, gained from doing it that way. And what I love about you and the boys is that's who you are. You guys show up every single day, not with an agenda, but with an open mind, and create conversations around important topics, and then you just be yourselves.
Don't break the table, obviously.
I just break shit. Sorry, man.
Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him.
I fucking dare somebody. I dare the next ass kicking. What? Saudi Arabia. What? Riyadh. What? Taking a jet plane. What? All the way there. What? All the way back. What? On the way back. What? WWE champion. What? Hey, you hell yeah!
Guys destroyed our shit. First hour. We talk sports and rock. Yeah. With AJ Hawk. Yeah. This is not a mock. Yeah. Of a song that's rock. Yeah. Sports talk and rock with AJ Hawk. Yeah. Rock. Hell yeah. AJ Sports and talking on the rock. Yeah. The bone. Yeah. Go on home with AJ Hawk. It's rock. Yeah. Sports. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Welcome back.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to that show. It is, wow, there's a lot of things happening in the NFL, and March Madness is set to begin Monday, March 14th, 2022. Hour 3 begins right now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us. The Talks the Tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, at Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, they got their quarterback today, Mitchell Trubisky's in Pittsburgh.
Congrats.
Over the last few moments, some things have happened around the NFL. Some dollars have been handed out from teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a deal in place with Falcons linebacker Foye Oluokun.
Nailed it.
Oluokun. Mm-hmm. Foye Oluokun on a 3-year, $45 million deal. Oluokun led the NFL in tackles in 2021 with 192, and he also has 5 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 5 sacks over the past 2 seasons. Deal negotiated by Gary V and the boys.
Okay.
Rap Sheet reported that first. We're reading via Ari Mirov. So the Jags have been in play now for a couple different free agents on the first day of the legal tampering period for free agency. Doug Peterson's trying to build a monster
that's right.
down there in Duval. Bowl. 192 tackles, that guy. Seems like an absolute monster. More news happening around the NFL. The Jets have signed guard Laken Tomlinson to a 3-year deal worth $40 million. Max value of $41.2 million, $27 million guaranteed. That's via Rappaport. Congrats, Laken.
Maybe Laken.
Hey, we need a little bit of protection for the Zach Wilson guy. He might look like he's 12, but he's taking a beating like he's 50. This guy needs to figure it out and get it going. I like the fact that everybody seems to be signing offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. He's not the first nor the last. The big boys are getting some money here early in the free agency period. Also, I believe there was another signing, Zito.
Try to find it right now.
The Giants, I think, did something.
The Jags bringing in Brandon Scherf, the guard from the Redskins, I believe.
Offensive lineman getting paid there.
Wow. Sorry, football team. Sorry. Commanders. Well, he never played for the Commanders. He was on the Washington football team. Uh-huh. So you were right in saying that he was never a commander. He's going to the Jags. The Giants are doing some stuff. Feels like a lot of teams are making some plays. Go ahead, Connor.
Bengals also got Ted Karras, another old lineman for Joe Burrow.
Okay, so they signed Kappa from Tampa, and they signed
Ted Karras from New England
for offensive line to protect Joe Burrow so he doesn't get 9 sacks in one playoff game and 7 in the Super Bowl, 6 in the second half. We got a team. Also, our sources are saying that there's potential bids being placed for Cincinnati Bengals indoor practice facility to be built.
Whoa. Wow.
Welcome to 2022, Cincy. Let's go.
Yay. God.
Joining us now, we'll pivot away from the NFL, although I assume a lot will happen over the next 15, 20 minutes as we have a chat with a man for the first time. We've seen his work on ESPN in the past. Now he works at Stadium, covering college basketball for 20 years, currently live in Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Goodman.
What's up, man?
Hey,
how are you?
I heard you getting your ass beat at the blackjack table. What's going on? Was it one dealer or was it everybody?
I've moved around to every goddamn table in the casino, and I'm just honestly, I'm just gonna load up. I got one more night here tonight, and I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down and see what I can do.
Well, they say that's good, smart gambling. You know, it's good, smart gambling. Double down on one night, go all in. You got to do what you got to do. Let's talk about the brackets. Couple surprises. Everybody's pissed about Tennessee. I guess there's some other people that are ranked too low. What are your thoughts on this year's bracket, and who do you think it favors overall?
Listen, I don't get all into the whining and complaining about whether you're a 2 or a 3 seed and these teams that didn't get in. Texas A&M, you lost 8 straight games at one point this year. You didn't play anybody in the non-conference. Stop complaining and just beat teams. Like, don't be on the bubble, right? I mean, again, I'm not saying the committee was perfect, Pat, but the bottom line is, again, is there, like Duke, yeah, they got a 2 instead of probably a 3, but they got to go out west and play Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. I don't get all caught up in this shit, to be honest. I don't.
Who do you think it bodes well for? You just talked about Duke's road is going to be a difficult one because they got the number 1 overall in later rounds if they make it that way. Who do you think is set up pretty well to go on a run here that we might not expect?
I like Kentucky as a 2. All right, Kentucky, it's all about point guard play for me in the tournament. All about point guard play. If you don't have good point guards, and really, if you look at it in the top 10, in the last 10 or 15 years, most of the teams that have won 6 straight and won it all have had multiple point guards. Kentucky has 2 point guards, Severe Wheeler and a freshman, Ty Washington. They got Baylor as the number 1 seed in their region. Baylor's completely banged up. Scott Drew's done a great job, but they lost their big guy for the season. They're without their leading scorer, L.J. Cryer. Other guys have been hurt this year. So I think Kentucky, if they can get past Purdue, they've got a nice, easy road to the Final Four in New Orleans.
Purdue's got that guy who's like 7'6",
right?
Monster. He is huge. That's a big time.
And the great matchup there, the one everybody wants, Oscar Tshiebwe of Kentucky, who's probably the player of the year, 6'9", 260, just a man-child. But if he goes against Edey, he's going to look like a little man. I mean, Edey is that big. He's a monster, and they got another dude, Trevion Williams. So that's the matchup. It's funny because, like, everybody goes small now. The best players in the country this year are bigs. The point guards are the worst I've seen it in 20 years of covering the sport.
Well, that's why you said Kentucky's in a good spot. Go ahead, Ty.
Jeff, I'm an Iowa alum, and they have caught fire at the right time. But I also saw that last night when the bracket came out, they're kind of like a trendy pick to go to the Final Four right now. Do you think that is accurate? Do you think they actually could? And are there any other teams who are playing their best basketball right now that maybe people aren't expecting to get to the Final Four but could?
So your hot guys, listen, ever since Fran McCaffrey went with Bohannon back at the point, they've been a completely different team, right? Keegan Murray might be like the 5th pick in the draft. I'm telling you, this kid is going to be a really, really good NBA player. I saw him the other day in the Big Ten tournament for the first time in person. He's awesome. And again, I think Patrick McCaffrey needs to get back on track a little bit. But yeah, those teams to me that are hot, that come in with confidence, like Arkansas, did they peak at the wrong time a little bit? That's what I worry about with Arkansas. They needed to just to get back in the tournament equation, but now have they kind of peaked at the wrong time, and now they've struggled a little bit here. But I love the Hawkeyes. I really do. And I think the Big Ten, it gets crucified every year. People crush it because it doesn't do anything in the tournament. You got so many teams. And again, Illinois is the team for me. They're the team for me that I think people are sleeping on a little bit. They fit together. They got shooters. They got multiple point guards, as I said, Pat. Point guard play, point guard play, point guard play. And they got a big. Kofi Coburn is another absolute monster down there in the paint.
Okay, so let's talk about point guard play. Murphy, I believe, for Virginia Tech, he controlled that game in the ACC championship. Is that a team that we should keep our eyes on? I mean, they're playing Enter Sandman in Madison Square Garden. I mean, that was awesome. That was a beautiful moment there. Is there any teams like that? That was a 7 seed, the first time to ever win the ACC championship. Is there any teams you think that could get hot and go on a run strictly because of one player or two players?
Well, here's a team that I gave up on earlier this year, and I called them soft as shit when I saw them at Mohegan Sun, right? They were super soft, and I called them out for it. Carolina, super soft most of the year. And then I watched them last week. They go in for, Coach K Day, right? I mean, it was just like a, love fest for K that day in Durham for his final game. And Carolina goes in, and they show me some mental toughness, which honestly, they really didn't have all year. And they weren't great in the ACC tourney, but they've got like top 10 or 15 talent. They just hadn't played well. And again, I thought they were soft most of the year. So I like Carolina in their first round game against Marquette. And another, to me, you almost look at vulnerable teams, high seeds, not so much who they're playing, but it's almost like Auburn, again, point guard play. That kid, Wendell Green, who came over from Eastern Kentucky this year, he was awesome early, and then he's come down to earth. I worry about them. They play Miami probably in the second round, and Miami's average age probably older than, well, not me, but maybe you.
They said that about Texas Tech too, right? I think an older squad. That's a transfer portal, right?
Yeah, everybody goes to portal now. I mean, honestly, and Texas Tech, the crazy thing, they go to portal, and they get a lot of like second-rate portal guys that we didn't think were that good, but you know what they did? They all came from winning programs, and they've been awesome. Texas went for the big names, and they came from losing programs, and Texas is underachieved.
See, that's that chemistry. Those who know how to build a team, it feels like in March Madness, it's a big deal because you got to get over it, you got to get past it, you got to reinstall and go for it. Is that why Gonzaga's at the top of the charts, just because they seem to be so intelligent, they're older, they're veteran, and they can go on a run if they have to?
They don't have a major weakness. I thought it would be shooting, but collectively they've been good. And Chet Holmgren, who's going to be the 1, 2, or 3 pick in the draft, 7'1", super skinny. Like, the NBA guys are really worried about him and his body build. Kind of the opposite of Zion, right? Zion getting too fat.
Too strong. Hey, it's too strong, they say.
No. He's eating too many of these.
All right, Jeff.
Eating too many Doritos.
Hey, that's why you're losing.
Chet Holmgren needs more Doritos.
Okay.
That's the key for him.
Science, dude. Science says that's the case there, Jeff.
They're good. Hey, the guy that you got to watch, your favorite player in the tournament this year is Kirk. You have to get Kirk Cousins on your show. Arizona, okay? He's the kid who's hurt right now. I don't know if you saw, he posted a picture of his ankle, and it's black and blue. He's a point guard, starting point guard. Nobody talks more shit than Kirk Cousins. You have to get him on. If they'll let him be on your show, you've got to get him on.
I think he threw his shoe into the crowd after Arizona won, right? That was him.
The video I posted.
Yes.
Yeah, they were Crocs.
Yes.
He threw his Crocs.
Yeah, they're tie-dyed Crocs. Yeah, he took them off and threw them. Yeah, I remember going, who the fuck is this guy? Because I don't watch enough to know who he is. And then in the ceremony, it's like, oh, they're all talking about this guy. Then whenever it was on, when they got selected, he was in the front row really loud. I'm like, oh, this guy seems to be a guy. I did not know the case. He is a shit-talking machine, huh?
Shit-talking machine. I tried to get him. So I went to Arizona, and I was out there about a month ago, and they beat UCLA. Arizona beats UCLA in the game. So I'm out, hitting one of my old stomping grounds called dirt bags.
Had a baby. Ooh.
So I'm hitting dirt bags, and I'm already in, and Kerr tries to get in, and they won't let him in. And I'm like, I come out, I talk to the bouncer. I'm like, come on, like, what's the problem here? Well, my general manager told me they got to wait in line. So I go up to the girls in the front. I'm like, come on, like, can you let him in? Can you let him cut the line? And one of the girls looks over at me. She's like, well, they're not famous. I said, yeah, but like, what did you do today? They beat UCLA. Let him in. Come on. So I got him in eventually.
Oh, Jeff.
He was drinking non-alcoholic. All right, like he was being a good boy.
Yeah.
He was drinking some non-alcoholic O'Douls or whatever.
Yeah, he just wanted to experience a little nightlife.
Sure.
I would assume something had happened between him and the GM that, maybe say, these guys wait in line, whatever. There's
Had to have happened.
Yeah,
It
something.
happened.
Yeah.
They didn't put their tab or something,
Yeah, there's some shit talk that took place. You never know. Oh, well, happy you got him in there. That's good stuff. That's good alumni.
Yeah, that's right.
Taking care of the team. Now, I don't know how the NIL would have handled that in the past if you would have said that publicly. Now, buy that guy all the fucking O'Douls he needs.
I'll buy him a car if I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Jeff, do you see a team like last year with UCLA who was in a playing game at the 11 seed and then went on that crazy run? And also, should I just take Loyola Chicago again because Sister Jean is going to be in the crowd next week?
She's like 125 years old now, by the way.
God bless her. God.
103. Like, Pat, listen, I'm 50. If I can make it to 60, I'm happy with everything I've done. For you, what are you talking? If you make it to 45?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to dirt bags at the age of 50. But, there is some dirt
bags. Throw a hat on, whatever. Man. It don't matter, right?
Yeah, she was good, though.
Listen, yeah, Loyola's good. They missed their big guy, Cam Krautwig. He was terrific last year, and they ran everything through him. But they got everything else back. They got a 30-year-old head coach, guys. Denzel Valentine's little brother. Denzel's in the NBA. His little brother, Drew, has done an unbelievable job after the old coach, Porter Moser, left for Oklahoma. I don't know if there'll be a 11 seed or somebody that
Dirtbags.
Well, there we go. Sorry. I don't know if there'll be an 11 seed or somebody, but I'm going with Indiana, and here's why.
Here we go. First four. They're in the first four, first whatever the case, play in.
Fan base hates me, okay, because I kind of hammered the hiring of Mike Woodson last year. He's a former NBA guy, and most former NBA guys don't pan out as college coaches. They don't. But here's the issue. My daughter chooses Indiana 2 weeks ago. She's in high school. So now I got to flip the fan base.
Yeah. Now you got to pander because you want to go see your daughter. You got to do the whole thing because they'll run your ass out of Bloomington.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they hate me. Yeah. But I think I got it. I'm going to work on it, slowly win them over. I did it with Texas Tech about a month ago. So Indiana, first four, maybe not the final four, but at least winning a game.
Hey, that's right. It's Wednesday night, by the way. They're playing, who are they playing? They're playing somebody.
Wyoming favorite. Wyoming.
And they beat Purdue, which was huge for them. They beat Michigan, right? That was huge for them. They knock out Illinois, and then they lose to Iowa on Bohannon's last one. And these are all games they had to win late, which is good news, right? If you're a fan of the Hoosiers, that's good. They're winning when they have to.
Yeah, and they haven't been in the tournament for a while. And the hard part, so here's the deal with last year, UCLA going from first four to final four. They never had to get in a plane because the entire tournament was in Indy. So that was a little bit of an advantage for UCLA last year. Now, all these teams that win in the first four, they got to shoot out and play a couple days later. Now, there's a benefit to it also. You get rid of the nerves, right? You're playing a team that's been waiting all week. If you're Indiana, you win that first game. You come in with some swagger. You're not nervous. You've already played in Dayton in front of a capacity crowd. So, listen, the Hoosiers, they've got talent. It's all up to, again, I hate to harp on it, but it's true. Their point guard, Xavier Johnson's been great the last month or so. The first 2 months of the season, he was completely erratic up and down.
So whenever you think about that Dayton arena, do you wonder why they don't have an air conditioner in there? Because they fucking have those games in there every Wednesday before the tournament. It's going to be 7,000 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be something. Whoever can get through the safari-like heat will be able to move on over there in Dayton. It's a beautiful scene, but also let's update that place a little bit.
Yeah, they fill it up. They do a really good job with it. And, ultimately, again, I personally, I would get rid of the first four. I don't love it.
Whoa! You don't think it's a good way to kick the whole thing off? You don't think it's like exciting, electrifying? Here we go. We can add some more. We don't have to make a hard decision. We can add four games, 8 different teams to maybe get in.
If you do it, I would pit mid-majors against high majors in all 4 games. That would be my way of doing it. I just don't think there's enough intrigue in these matchups. And I would go back to 64. The bubble, there's a lot of teams that get in here that probably don't deserve it. I would make it a little bit more exclusive. I liked it when it was 64. But if you're going to add it, make all 4 compelling matchups between, again, mids and highs, because that's always the topic of conversation, right? Should we have had more mids in than we took this year, every year? So I would do that.
I was trying to explain to my wife who ends up in the north, the east, the west, and the south. Is there any rhyme or reason to that? Because as I was trying to talk to her, I was like, actually, I don't fucking have a clue. Like, Gonzaga gets a benefit. Is that like the ones get a benefit for the area, and then everybody else is just kind of slotted in there? How is it decided who goes where, Jeff?
So the one gets to pick where they go. So obviously Gonzaga is going to stay in the west. And then the other ones, they try to keep the top 4 seeds. They try to keep close to home if they can. Here's my idea, and I think it'd be great made for TV. Why not have each team be on the clock to pick where you want to go? So, like, all right, Gonzaga, you're the number 1 overall seed. You pick. And then you get down to, like, the 3 or the 4 seeds, and you've got, like, 2 minutes to figure it out. Well, you've got to look at that bracket. Who else is in your bracket? Where do you go? Like, how great would that be in terms of, like, TV ratings to do that?
So you think, like, have the rest of the brackets filled out, and then the ones get to pick which one, where they want to go?
The way, I'd go 1 through 4. I mean, shit, you can do the whole show that way, Pat. How about the whole show? But they have certain, like, criteria. You can't have too many, like, Big Ten teams in a certain region, things like that. I say drop all of that. Drop all that and literally go in order. And, like, you've got 2 minutes on the clock or 30 seconds on the clock. Where do you want to go? Your coach and your staff huddle up, and you see, you're looking at the bracket. Like, how great would that be?
Travel's a nightmare, huh? That's you talked about how the bubble was such an advantage for UCLA for first 4 to Final Four because they didn't have to fly. Some of these teams are going to have to hop on a plane immediately after each game, huh?
Yeah. Well, after each set of games, each 2. So you're going to play 2 in one spot if you win 2.
Yeah, but first 4 goes from Dayton to wherever. Yeah. Then if they win there, they got to hop on a plane again. It's madness.
And then you go to Orleans, and then you go to New Orleans, which is the best place to have the Final Four, obviously.
Well, Indianapolis probably number 1. Yeah. And then New Orleans probably number 2. Yeah.
Indy?
It's warm. No. Jeff, it's fucking 70 degrees this week.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It'll be perfect this week.
But what is it in New Orleans? It's got to be
120.
Oh,
God.
So
my
humid.
God, it's so humid. 120.
Wait. Hold on. The bars don't close in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. I forgot your dirtbags 50. Yeah, you're right. We can keep a couple places open for fucking Jeff Goodman. Here. I guess the high is 70 in New Orleans, right? Yeah, it's actually, but it's perfect down there in New Orleans. Go ahead, Tony.
Jeff, you were talking about mid majors versus high majors, and you were talking about Arkansas too. I think they go against Vermont in the first round, which I know is going to be a tough out. Like, is there any mid majors that you can see making a run into the Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8, Final 4?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't see Vermont doing it at this point. I mean, they're going to be overmatched by Arkansas. You know, I think, again, you look at teams like Loyola Chicago, certainly they've got the experience. Lucas Williamson's played in a Final Four before. You're looking at like a San Francisco has done a great job. You know, and obviously everybody's got a different version of what a mid-major is, right? The Mountain West, they don't really consider themselves mid-major, but like Colorado State guys, they got 2 dudes on that team. They got a kid named David Roddy, who I'm telling you could end up in the NFL as a tight end. He's like 6'5.5", 250. His footwork, you got to watch this kid. So I really do think, and I asked him this earlier this year, I said, if it doesn't work out for you in the NBA, do you go NFL? And he was like, I would absolutely think about it. I obviously, you know, like the kid Mark Vital last year for Baylor, he's on the practice squad this year for, I can't remember the team, but I just saw him. And he's a monster. You see all these guys, Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. There have been so many who have come through that now I think this is the next guy.
My only completion in the NFL is to Eric Swope, Miami basketball player, actually. Yeah. His first year, watching him grow, like he was his third year, I think, whenever he finally got into it, learning the sport, learning leverage with how athletic they are, how big they are, and how the game has changed. It's almost like a very smooth transition into that tight end role. If they can take hits, that's like the big thing. Can you get physical or not? We got a spot for you. Last question here, Jeff. We can't thank you enough for joining us. I understand the booze and the blackjack had to be put on hold. Go ahead, Gumpy. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Jeff, I know you agreed with a lot of the committee on the bracket. How did Michigan end up being on the bubble to a number 11?
Well, you know why? Because they need these brands.
Okay, so it's bullshit, you're saying, Jeff.
And how are they favored?
They need ratings. They got to have Indiana. They weren't going to put Indiana and Michigan in both in the first four, so you had to have one of those guys in the field. But to me, come on. Do we really believe that ratings and money aren't important here when it comes down to the final teams in the bubble? You need brands. Michigan is a brand.
I thought NCAA was about the kids.
Yeah.
I thought it was about the kids. What are you talking about, Jeff?
Little bit of this, right? Little bit of money.
I hope you go win a lot of bit of this back on the blackjack table. We can't thank you enough for joining us through March Madness. We hope you'll continue to chat with us because we don't know shit about fuck in this world.
Well, I'll try to educate you the best I can as long as you come down to New Orleans and we can buy we can have a few drinks together. No Indy, New Orleans.
It'll be too hot down there. You see my particular brand of white down there. I turn red.
Get some color. You need to get a little color.
Oh, Jeff, get out. Ladies and gentlemen, from the stadium, insider for college basketball for the last 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Goodman. Good luck out there in Vegas, pal. We hope you win. Hey, there ain't nothing like losing at every blackjack table you go to.
Oh, God.
That's tough.
Because you have to start, because classic blackjack, you blame the other people at the table with you, you blame the dealer, you blame the shoe.
Yep.
So then whenever you get up and go to multiple tables and you've blamed all three things in multiple places, inevitably you have to look in the mirror and go, this is you, cuz. Yeah. This ain't the shoe. Go ahead and reset, do an interview, go back down there and take them for every dollar they have. Loves Gonzaga, likes Arkansas to be too much for Vermont. I heard that. Auburn might win the first round, but probably not going to be able to go because of point guard play. Kentucky's got 2 point guards that can control the rock. Let's keep our eyes on that. UNC, much tougher than they were earlier in the year.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
Colorado State.
Colorado State might be a couple guys
Illinois
there.
as well.
Illinois is his team.
Hawks are incredibly hot right now.
Yeah, you say you guys are fucked, though. Let's get to a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes. We will catch everybody up on what's happening in the NFL. There's been like 5-6 signings since us talking to Jeff Goodman. There has not been another quarterback domino fall yet. We assume they're waiting on Deshaun Watson. Mitchell Trubisky, now a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey.
Welcome to Mitchburg, bitch.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? We're back in 4, covering everything, hopefully, that you want to hear and need to hear. We can't thank you enough for joining us. You all are the best humans on earth. See you then.
I want to offer you something. Okay.
Do I need like a pen or something?
You probably need a chair.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you normally are. You know, it's like, and I know you love what we do, and you're a part of the team. Big time. And people in the organization really enjoy it, and fans all over the world really enjoy you being you. You know, and you can't find anyone, I can't imagine back in the day, Bob Costas standing up on a desk and dancing. Okay, but you're you know, and that's why it works, you know. And so with that, it's like I'd like to offer you an opportunity to actually wrestle at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be a dream, boss.
In the ring. Now, it would be the difference, though, when you played for the Colts. It'd be the difference of like, okay, you're the punter.
Okay.
But now, in the ring, you're going to be a linebacker.
24 tackles in the NFL. No big deal.
That would be a fucking dream, obviously. And by the way, there's been a lot of chatter on the internet about me getting back into the ring and wrestling at WrestleMania. And I've had so many torn, conflicted feelings because, you know, I'm I'm out of shape. I ain't out of shape. There's a lot of vitamins that go into these lungs, Vince, and like the things coming up. But WrestleMania is something I've obviously stolen from you. By the way, back in the day, we'd go to whoever had the black box would steal WrestleMania. So sorry about that. I probably owe you like $7, $8, $99 or so like that for that whole thing. But obviously, it is the standard at WrestleMania. I would love to. That'd be an absolute honor.
See you in the ring. We'll find some worthy opponent for you. Put you in the ring.
Wow.
Awesome.
Holy shit.
Hey, Did you see the ring when you walked by the way?
I did. I was impressed. You have your own ring.
Yeah, I got
it. Looks like a standard WWE ring.
Well, listen. I don't know if that's how hard your rings are, but goddamn, that thing hurts. That thing hurts like hell. This is incredible, by the way. Awesome. Is this a real deal? I mean, are we really?
Yep. No, I don't bullshit. I don't do that.
Let's go. Here we go.
Hell yeah.
The Jacksonville Duval Jaguars are dead. And I think that is something that is a shame. But we should at least have a moment of silence, I guess, for the Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguar squad. He chose one time not to fly back home with the team after a loss. Said, I gotta see the grandbabies. That's right. The only babies he saw were those young ladies at the shop house that week. Devil. He had to answer a lot of questions about that, but then he got back on track and started coaching football.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about the fingers. And they won. They won a game in London. How'd they win? It's because they forgot about the fingers. That's right. And then they came back to America. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And anonymous sources say, this guy fucking stinks. He's laughed out of meeting rooms. Everybody wants to smack him in the mouth.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Have a little mirror therapy, pal. A little bit. You stink.
You guys ever get yourself one of these? I didn't think so, you losers.
Hey, this one from high school. This one from college. And this one right here, middle fingers open for the NFL. If any of you would stop fucking me over.
Goddamn right.
That's what we're trying to get. Hey, you, defense coordinator.
What's that?
You got any of these?
No, I don't.
That's why I thought you're a fucking loser.
I'm sorry.
You need to stop by the job. Anyways, they're dead. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Just want to let you know that we're back with another PMS bracket bonanza. Hell yeah! On the official NCAA March Madness site and app. We're excited about the prizes this year. First place, was that all on the screen there, or was that just what we saw? Okay, I was about to say a lot happened. We just see this entire desktop right there. Yeah. That was wild. A lot is happening with our bracket bonanza. First place wins an entire Bitcoin.
Whoa. Wow.
Second place, lunch with Mitt and an autographed Baby Duke from the whole team. Third place, an autographed Baby Duke. Hit the description link and sign up now to play with us and win a Bitcoin or lunch with Mitt. Who knows which is more valuable at this point, but you can find us and join us. A perfect bracket in our bracket will also score you $1 million. Wow. Now, if 2 people or 3 people hit a perfect bracket, they will split the $1 million. Wow. Just have to put that in there. But this should be a lot of fun. PMS Bonanza 2.0 is what it's titled at the site. It's not easy to find these things, if I do recall from last year. Can't wait to see you all join us. And hate to break it to everybody, I'm winning $1 million from me and a Bitcoin.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm winning $1 million Bitcoin, and I'm also getting the $1 billion from Warren Buffett.
No, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground.
No, I know college basketball.
Sounds like a 3-way split.
No, Gumpy, please. I don't even want to hear it.
Tell you what, I'll go foursies with you guys.
Yeah, quarter piece.
You all are wrong. You're all going to lose. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know Texas Tech used the portal to get like second-tier guys, and they built an incredibly older team.
Please, I've been on Colorado State for, I don't know, damn near 8 months now because I've been researching them so hard.
Blind Squirrel.
That's right.
That's what you're on. Right?
No.
Sounds like it.
Let's get back to the NFL. Big things have happened.
Whoa.
Numerous dudes have gotten Said bag in the Brinks truck has arrived. The Titans are keeping center Ben Jones, a source said. He gets a 2-year deal worth $14 million. There we go. King Henry's back. Ryan Tannehill is back. So is Ben Jones. Mike Garafolo has a 1-year deal worth $3.6 million with incentives that can push it to $4.4 million for Sidney Jones and the Seahawks. Congrats to Sidney Jones.
Yeah, baby Sidney.
Corners sticking with the Seahawks. This comes after they just paid Diggs $30 million. Jamal Adams getting like $70 million. Loading up on the secondary. We want that Legion of Boom back.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know who's going to be the quarterback, but the Seahawks are going to work. Also happening while we were chit-chatting with Jeff Goodman, Field Yates reported that Matthew Slater has a new deal with the New England Patriots. This time a 1-year, $2.62 million fully guaranteed deal. Matthew Slater, who is a 10-time Pro Bowler, returns to the New England Patriots.
Hell yeah!
Congrats to Slater. I'm assuming other places would have paid him more.
Yeah,
but his loyalty to the Patriots franchise and program is one that's very strong.
That's right. Not everybody has that loyalty, Pat, but Slater always has, always will.
Well, Matthew Slater's loyalty is probably costing him some money, but his legacy is going to be one of the greatest special teamer of all time. Would have loved to have been able to punt balls with Slater going and get it. I believe we have a couple more. Adam Schefter is reporting that the Jets are re-signing wide receiver kick returner Braxton Berrios on a 2-year, $12 million deal that includes $7 million fully guaranteed, per his agent Drew Rosenhaus, who's got 2 deals done in Miami and now 1 in New York on this day. Congrats to Berrios.
Hey, baby Braxton.
Shot out of a damn cannon, this guy.
Yeah.
Great returner, $7 million. I'm assuming Zach Wilson and the Jets franchise and program as a whole is excited that he's back. The whole review of everything that has happened lately here on this first day of tampering in the NFL's free agent. Laken Tomlinson went to the Jets, 3 years, $40 million. Foley Fatukasi to the Jags, 3 years, $30 million. Larry Ogunjobi from Cincy to the Bears, 3 years, $40.5 million. Tracy Walker back to the Lions, 3 years, $25 million. Center Ben Jones back to the Titans, 2 years, $14 million. And Braxton Berrios back to the Jets, 2 years, $12 million. And we're only at 2:35, 2 hours and 35 minutes into this legal tampering period. It feels like it's only going to heat up. Salary cap is higher than it's ever been in the history of the NFL, with knowledge that it's only going to keep climbing. Teams are making plays. Good for all these players getting paid today.
Yeah, it feels like there's still so many big guys still on the board. Robinson's still on there. Allen, Juju Smith-Schuster still on there. MVS still on there. Just getting started.
Jacksonville Jaguars allegedly in the market even more to bring in Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Christian Kirk to a large deal, reporting Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. The Doug Peterson, 2 D-line. Now they're bringing in Christian Kirk. He's trying to flip that entire thing on its head. I don't know what Urban Meyer was bringing in here. I might like some of these guys, but also, Con, we're going to have to spend some money to bring my dudes in here. Good for Peterson. The AFC South is getting active, except for the Indianapolis Colts, who have all the fucking money.
Yeah, very interesting. Everyone getting better but the Colts.
What are they waiting for? But no, there's good, like, Teron Armstead still out there.
Left
J.C.
tackle
Jackson.
out of the Saints, who everybody is going to want. J.C. Jackson, corner from the New England Patriots, who everybody's going to want.
Chandler Jones.
Still out there. He's an absolute stud.
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, wide receiver from the Bears. He was kind of being held hostage by that place. Now he's going to the market.
Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore, a stud, who was with the Carolina Panthers for 1 year. Now he's an actual free agent. The reason why he left New England is because New England didn't want to lock him down long term. He goes to Carolina, finishes the season. Now he's available. Who's going to sign big Stephon Gilmore?
Bobby Wagner.
Gilly Lock's available. Bobby Wagner still available, alongside Hicks, the linebacker from Arizona, who was released.
Tyrann Mathieu still out there.
The Honey Badger, the landlord, still available for hiring in a lot of places that need back end help.
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney. Money is allegedly the issue with him going back to Cleveland, but last year he sat out until like the end of training camp, and then he went in there.
Yeah.
Is he trying to enact the same exact ploy so he doesn't have to do all the offseason shit? Potentially.
There's Odell. There's Fournette. There's Cordell Patterson. There's
Jarvis.
Zadarius Smith now.
All right, let's go. There's still a
Juju's
lot
out there.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Here we go, boys.
I thought Juju was going back to Pittsburgh. That's not happening. That was just on the internet. People were saying that.
I don't know.
What?
Whoa.
Let's go to phones here on 5-Hour Energy Phone Line. Let's go to Kyle in Seattle. What's going on, Kyle? Big money being spent up there.
How you doing? Keep it moving, boys.
Bingo.
I actually wanted to talk about Scott Hall and his influence on wrestling in general.
Okay.
His ladder match at WrestleMania 10 changed the landscape with Shawn Michaels. Made ladder matches in wrestling a thing, and a lot of kids don't know that now that they've seen it so many times. I just wanted to spread the love for the bad guy.
Okay, Kyle, shout out to Kyle. Both Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall's careers changed after that. I believe it was for the Intercontinental title. I'm not 100% sure. If I do recall, it was a big-time match. Hey, yo. I mean, it is a big-time deal. Scott Hall also changed the entire landscape of wrestling when he and Kevin Hall went over to WCW as the Outsiders, created the NWO, and everything was history. I mean, absolute superstar, stud. A lot of stories have been told about him. Absolute maniac of a man off the ring, and just he's always super nice to me, which I appreciate, but I allegedly, he's not in a good spot after 3 heart attacks. Yeah. That's huge. Somebody got the bag! Somebody got paid on this first day of legal tampering. Mike Garafolo is reporting that the Eagles have agreed to terms of pass rusher Hassan Reddick. Our source says 3 years, $45 million with $30 million fully guaranteed at signing. Max value goes up to $49.5 million. The Camden native and former Temple Owl is coming home. The Eagles are playing. Wow. Here we go. Listen, we want to get somebody and get to the damn quarterback. Yeah. You see what Dak Prescott was doing last year? We need to slice and dice that, man. Sirianni's excited, I would assume, getting another weapon to rush the passer.
Yeah, Temple Owl, obviously. I mean, he's got dog mentality. He also has owl mentality, which we love in Philadelphia. So, yeah, this is a no-brainer for us.
What do you think his favorite cheesesteak is?
If I had to get, well, he is a Philadelphia guy, so, you're not going to find him at Pat's or Geno's on Saturday night. He's probably at Alessandro's before they close.
Why not at Pat's or Geno's?
Well, because a lot of people think Pat's and Geno's is just a tourist location that they kind of have shady cheesesteaks. And, like, if you're from the Midwest, you think, like, oh, go Pat's or Geno's. If you're from here, you're not eating that garbage.
Because you have a dog mentality.
You have a dog mentality, and Alessandro's is just down the street.
Let's go to the phones. Congrats to him getting paid.
Yeah.
Congrats to him getting paid. Let's go to Corey in Oklahoma. What's going on, Corey?
Boys, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Okay.
I just wanted to address Connor's shit talking to the Colts.
All right.
To let him know that no matter who Indy has at quarterback, whether it's Jimmy G, Jameis, and the great Sam Ehlinger, we're still going to curb stomp that Patriot ass again, just like we did last year with Carl Wentz.
That's right. Holy shit. That's right. Thank you, Corey.
Okay.
I don't know about that Sam Ehlinger talk. I assume he's a stud. This guy's in Oklahoma. He knows more about Sam than I do. The quarterback option's looking a little thin for the Colts right now. They'll figure it out, though. I got faith.
Yeah, for sure. They'll figure it out. There's still so many guys on that board that they won't pay for some reason, but they're still out there, so maybe there's a chance, you bring in Jameis, but Gardner seems to be the clear-cut favorite for the Indianapolis Colts.
Just wait until Marcus Mariota's taking snaps, throwing the ball to Odell Beckham Jr., Allen Robinson, hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Armstead is his left tackle. He's completely protected. That can all still happen with the Colts. Yeah. You're jumping to conclusions way too soon that these dudes ain't spending any money over it.
Hey, it ain't me. It's Zach Kiefer saying they're not going to be aggressive in free agency. They're going to let the market get set, and then they might, dip their toes in the water.
Let's go to Adam, who's in England, I think. Adam, what's going on, mate?
What's happening there, boys?
Hey, Adam!
What's happening, Mikey? Hey! I'm a dude and a sellout.
I love that. Pittsburgh East with a London accent.
I just wanted to say, I listen to you guys every day, and I love you guys. How come Cristiano Ronaldo isn't getting any love for getting Brady out of retirement right now? He went to Old Trafford once yesterday, sat in the stands, okay, talks to Ronaldo for 20 seconds, then all of a sudden he's out of retirement. Let's show Ronaldo some love. Let's go.
Okay, we would love to show Cristiano Ronaldo some love, but if we're going to do that, we also have to bash the people that he was sitting around. All these people that he was sitting around, I think he hated it so much, don't you think, Alan?
Well, I mean, it's Adam for a start. It's the chief. However, listen, Brady, legend, goes to Old Trafford with the Glazers just once, sits there for 90 minutes. He's the greatest football player of all time, score 3 tremendous goals, out of retirement. Let's fucking go!
Let's go! I believe we have given proper credit there.
I think so.
Whenever you watch a GOAT kind of perform at the highest of levels, you could see how his competitive instincts might kick back in there. But let's not lay out aside that he hated sitting around these people watching that game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Tom Brady is a soccer enthusiast and knows all the ins and outs of what's going on, but about 1 minute into the action on the pitch, he got sick of hearing from all these people about what should be happening and what's going on down there.
For sure.
Which, by the way, not a bash on soccer, not a bash on these guys. Just a quick reminder to Tom, I ain't supposed to be with these fucking slappies here. I'm supposed to be down there. And he actually said that in his, my time in the stands will come, is what I've realized. I need to get back into the arena.
There wasn't a suite for him?
What's that?
There wasn't a suite?
I assume this is in a
Man of the People.
a super yup area.
Yeah. And he was reciting Man in the Arena while he was sitting there.
This dude's housing just.
Oh,
Yeah, tea and crumpets maybe? Or?
Going after it.
Is that a little biscuits maybe?
Probably chew on
roll.
Is that Al Ferran? Al Ferran comedy?
Does look like him.
I mean, he had Iron Man and Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury sitting behind him.
That's right.
If that's Al Ferran, one of the greatest impressionists of all time.
That's right.
I would like to know more about who he was sitting around that he just couldn't take it anymore. Get me out of here. Darius Butler tweeted, "This was the moment. I can't do this anymore. I fucking hate it. I'm this guy as opposed to Cristiano Ronaldo now. I'm being viewed as this person as opposed to that guy down there scoring all the goals." I'm fucking back. Cristiano goes, "You're done, right?" Just about 15 minutes ago when he scored his third goal. Actually, no more. I'm actually coming back.
It also kind of looks like he's smiling in that picture, but now knowing it, it's like, oh, he's gritting his teeth into dust. He wants to get the hell out of there and get back on the football field.
I hate everything about this. DC are going to tell their friends that I'm one of them. I am not one of them. We are not built the same. I am different than you are. I'm fucking coming back. There probably was a self-timeline, by the way, for him coming back. Have to come before the tampering period. That's why he called Jensen allegedly, and Jensen got a deal done to stay in Tampa Bay. He probably knew, like, all right, I got to announce this thing before the tampering period starts if I want to come back. And this might have been just the final straw. So shout out to Cristiano and for Alan for listening to the show over there in London, Tampa.
And I'm sitting here without my family.
No! Somebody got paid. Ian Rappaport is reporting that the Bengals will keep B.J. Hill on a 3-year, $30 million deal with $15 million in year one. So look for his salary cap hit to be low. Congrats to B.J. Hill.
Hey,
Alongside Trey Hendrickson, that defensive line was able to do some magic. They keep B.J. Hill in Cincy. They added 2 offensive linemen. It looks like the Cincinnati Bengals understood what their flaws were and said, we're going to work on that, and we are going to remain a team that people do not want to fuck with. Also, we're hearing reports that they are out for bids for a new indoor practice facility. I'm sorry, an indoor practice facility. Cincinnati's about to maybe turn the page on everything that has ever been said about them not spending money, not going all in, and not being a championship caliber program. Here they go, spending money, building an indoor, knowing that Joey Burrow's a guy. Shout out to Houday.
Houday. Feels like they might get in the J.C. Jackson sweepstakes now that they're spending all this money all of a sudden.
Well, J.C. Jackson's going to be an Indianapolis Colt.
Doubt it, but he's definitely going to be playing for someone else.
A lot of people signing contracts that can definitely be afforded by the Colts.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, every single contract, no matter how big it is, can be afforded by the Colts this year.
You're saying all the deals that have been signed thus far could also all be with the Indianapolis Colts right now?
Yeah, they could probably sign Rodgers twice.
What is the deal?
It's
a beautiful city. Come on.
Yeah, they just hate spending money on guys that aren't in the building.
Let's go to which, by the way, honorable.
Absolutely.
Noble. Admirable.
Sure. Very much so.
All of these things. But also, we missed playoffs last year, so maybe do things a little different.
Yeah, winning the Super Bowl is pretty admirable, too.
Who the fuck's playing quarterback for the Colts this year?
Jimmy G. It's gotta be.
Yeah. They're putting all their eggs in that basket. They have to.
You keep seeing that report because you saw the report that the Steelers were in on them, but it said that every time it's like the Colts are still in.
Why are we ruling out Mike Glennon?
All right.
Or Ellinger.
We made him a really rich man.
Listen, yeah, you did. You weren't the only ones. Other people did too, but this guy with baseball news and now Mike Glennon coming to the Colts.
You'd love the Sky Cam back there.
Bro, Skycam sees all. As long as he doesn't check out of runs, I don't care.
Game manager.
Yeah, whoever. I don't care who it is. Just don't check out of runs. Don't cost $30 million and don't check out of giving the ball to the MVP.
Pretty simple formula.
And also maybe connect with the locker room.
Yeah.
That's something that was coming out here as of late. There was a Commander Carson cartoon drawn on the internet I saw.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect fit over there.
It really is.
He's going to crush.
He's going to be great over there.
Yeah.
We're all happy for him.
What happens if they're better than the Colts this year, though?
Who?
The Commanders.
Let's go to the phones.
They're not.
That's not going to happen. Shut up.
I don't know.
That's 2 times today I've had to say that. You keep saying terrible things into the universe. I don't need it.
They had Chase Young. I mean, that entire
He's so good.
team.
He's so young.
He's so
Scary
good.
Terry is an absolute
Antonio
weapon.
Gibson.
Fun.
Especially with Carson extending plays. Scary Terry runs 4-3 or whatever. He's able to get open and makes every single play.
Yeah, put Heineke at running back sometimes.
Are the poop pipes still bursting?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to hear.
TBD.
No.
Let's go to Grant in Wisconsin. What's going on, Grant?
Hey guys, how we doing?
Keep moving.
Yeah, I just want to talk about MVS. He's more important, I think, than anybody for the Packers to bring back. I was more nervous for that playoff game going in because we didn't have him over anybody else coming back. If you look at the Packers games, they didn't do good at all when we didn't have MVS to open up everything.
Do you
Don't think he's more important than anybody?
You think he's more important than Devontae?
Well, obviously 17's the most important, but I'm assuming that contract will get figured out.
Okay, so Grant's saying MVS needs to come back. He was a deep threat, right?
Yeah. Yep.
There's a couple deep threats available right now. There's a couple deep people that could take the top off of defense still available in free agency. Everybody's assuming that MVS is moving on. Maybe he comes to the Colts. I'm not 100% sure, but he's another person that a lot of teams are looking for weapons. Maybe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, whatever you need. MVS seems like a great option.
Yeah, I believe he has been linked to the Colts. There's a bunch of teams with interest, but I think with him, like you said, there's other guys available out there, and he was going to command like $10 million plus per. So I just, with what they have going on with their cap right now, it probably wasn't ever going to make any sense.
And what's happening with how much Mitch is getting paid in Pittsburgh? Because that's something that people were talking about being around $10 million is what they said.
Yep.
Then what are the Steelers paying Mitchell Trubisky? I wonder, because New York Giants allegedly couldn't afford him is what narrative was being
Yeah, I just saw a tweet that the Giants are telling people that they can't afford anything. And I believe
But that's not real because everybody knows salary cap's fake.
Well, and Gettleman was really good GM, so he couldn't have fucked that up too bad. But I have not heard about the numbers yet for Mitch.
Let's go to Peyton in Texas. What's going on, Peyton?
Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Peyton! What's up, dude? What's going on, bub?
What's up, man?
Just chilling, dude. What are you up to?
I was just wondering, because of the Sean situation.
Cut the shit he said. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, Peyton. What do you want to talk about, pal?
With the Deshaun situation, yeah, he's not being criminally indicted, and he is seeing meetings. Does that, even though you had Lovie Smith on your show, does that mean we don't know for sure that Dougie Mills will be the starter? So could you see Nick Casario, what the fuck his name is, getting a quarterback? You know, like,
Dougie.
You know, because you said Mariota's on the table, Jacoby's on the table. Fuck Sam Darnold.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, jeez. Peyton, you're burying Dougie Davis Mills? You don't like Davis Mills?
Yeah. Oh, no. I love Davis. He's, like, when you look at stats, Davis might be my personal top 3 rookie quarterback this year.
Oh,
and
top 3. Yeah, sure.
And plus, he seems like the perfect fit. I mean, you played with Stanford guys and Andrew Luck. He played great.
maybe Mills can be the next Andrew Luck. We don't know.
John Elway also Stanford. Maybe.
Sure. Maybe.
Maybe he's the next Stanford guy. Good call there, Peyton. They were very open and said Davis Mills, their starter. But then when Lovey came on the show, he said Deshaun plays somewhere else or with us in the future. I wonder if it's still on the table. Lovey, Pep, everybody I think down there wouldn't mind meeting with Deshaun, who I don't know if he knows anything about them other than last year being around a little bit. So maybe Deshaun stays in Houston. Maybe he moves on. I don't see Houston drafting another quarterback, though. If they move on from Deshaun, I think they're going all in with Davis Mills just because that's what they've said openly a few times.
Yeah, and I mean, for his rookie year with that building burning down, like you assume if they get a bunch of picks from the Watson trade, they'll be able to build around him a little bit.
Let's go to Jason in Evansville, Indiana. What's going on, Jason? Evansville. Yeah.
Pat, boys, what's going on?
Hanging. How you going?
We're doing all right, Trying to solve our quarterback issue here in Indy.
Okay.
There's one guy, Pat. I mean, let's call a tree a tree. Minshew's not going to do it. No Winston. These guys aren't going to be able to get us where we need to be. We need to get the building up and handle money. We need number 12 back in the building.
Error.
Yeah,
but I think you're saying Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
That might have been Andrew Luck right there.
Could have been.
Andrew Luck's name always pops up when the Colts need a quarterback, which is the last 5 fucking years. Okay? We've needed a quarterback for the last 5 years. He retired, obviously, 9 days before the season started. I assume he threw a wrench in all of Chris Ballard's plans as he was building that team from the offensive line out. Andrew Luck got injured, didn't want to go back through it again, decided he was done with football. I don't think there's any reports coming out of the Andrew Luck camp saying he is itching to get back into football. Seems like he's enjoying the hell out of his life. But Jim Irsay would take the entire Jim Irsay collection to wherever the hell Andrew Luck is, put on a private performance with whatever musician Andrew Luck would like the most, and get him back right now if he thought it was possible.
It is the only thing that makes sense, though, is why the Colts haven't gone out and made any moves yet, is if they know that Andrew Luck's coming back.
And his contract's a big one, $25 million or $30 million or whatever the case is. And yeah, maybe that's what it is.
He's coming back.
Maybe we should just feed that narrative again.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck's playing quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
T.Y. Hilton's back. We get a couple weapons. Allen Robinson, maybe Odell Beckham Jr. The defense ready to go. Colts are in the Super Bowl.
Hey.
Wait till you see those fucking odds. Pre-Tom Brady coming back, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 28-1. Post-Tom Brady saying he's coming back, 7.5-1. I don't know where the Colts are sitting at right now, but if it's announced that Andrew Luck is the quarterback again, the number of free agents that are going to come, re-sign, Colts are going right probably 2-1 with that whole thing.
It's possible.
Now, that's a pipe dream that everybody in the Colts organization is having at night whenever they lay their head down. God damn it. We wish the Avatar, who was smarter, more athletic, and our entire franchise would want to play football, but I don't think anybody's gotten any indication that old Andrew Luck's coming back, although we would all love to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him at the national championship. He looked like he was just loving life, and he also weighed like 165 pounds.
Beanpole. Great mustache, though.
Unbelievable mustache.
Congrats to Andrew, by the way. Going into retirement and doing his thing. Not even teasing or tempting, but everybody else does. So there's some places that still don't have quarterbacks. This legal tampering day will continue long after this show ends. Tomorrow there'll be moves made. By Wednesday, everything has to be settled, including the salary cap for each team. This should be an exciting week, a great week. Remember to enter into our PMS Bracket Bonanza 2.0 contest. Winner gets a Bitcoin. Could get $1 million if you hit that thing perfectly. We'll be back in 21 hours. Chris Mad Dog Russo is next. There's reports coming out of what all these deals are potentially going to be worth and not worth. Christian Kirk, I guess, like 17 M's potentially. Wow. Odegaard. Christian Kirk is definitely getting paid by the Jags. I've heard it could be as much as $17 million per year. This is as Doug Peterson tries to build his culture in Jacksonville. They probably have to pay for him to come to Jacksonville, by the way. There's probably other teams that are much better off, ready to go on a run, who wanted Christian Kirk. Now he's getting $17 million per year, allegedly, per Kyle Odegaard. This sets the mark now for Allen Robinson, Odell Beckham Jr., and the many other weapons that are still out there. Congrats to Christian, no matter what it is. Congrats to Jacksonville getting a weapon, and congrats to all the wide receivers that are still free agents that now have a table to be set and to eat at for everybody else to chase and catch up to.
Is there any thought from teams like, will Christian Kirk play with DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green and Zach Ertz? like $17 million for him, and he wasn't even a 1 or 2 option.
This is Peterson having to pay. Like, you're going to have to overpay to get people to Jacksonville.
Okay.
At this point, situations are situational. In Jacksonville, it is a rebuild after another rebuild. So there is a little bit more you have to potentially tax to go there and take a shot. Christian Kirk is just one of them, I'd assume. That's good business. Will that mean that Odell and Allen Robinson and everybody else that's still available is going to look at that and say, hey, now this is the benchmark. This dude was not Nuke. He was not A.J. Green. He was not this. This is what this person's making. I deserve it. Probably, but I would assume other GMs are going to say also, we ain't fucking Jacksonville, though.
True. I was going to say bad news for the Packers because if he's getting 17, Devontae's going to have to get 54 or something like that.
Yeah, just quick the math. 2, 3x, 4x, 5x. Yeah, 17, 34, 78. Yeah.
Jesus.
68. 100. Yeah, you guys are going to
2 years, $250 million.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, just push it all down the road.
We just did some math. 10 voidable years.
Yeah, that's right.
Put it all in there.
It worked.
Doesn't it make more sense for guys like this too? Like if that's your first bite at the apple with free agency, like he's not thinking. Yeah, exactly. He's not thinking like, oh well, I'll go play with like I'll go ring chase and play with a great quarterback. It's like, well, fuck it.
Trevor Lawrence, we don't know if he's a good quarterback.
No, yeah, exactly. But also, I mean, how desirable is it to go to Jacksonville unless you're making $17 million a year?
Well, that's why they got to pay him more,
right?
And I assume that's what every GM is now explaining to every wide receiver after seeing that is potentially that deal. They're paying him an extra $3-4 million a year because he's got to go to fucking Jacksonville. They got pools in the stands. I get it. That's a good time, but they also stink. We don't stink. We're going to pay you and also got a chance to go on a run here. Although Doug Peterson's selling that to everybody that signs up. The Bengals won 4 games last year.
Yeah,
I've been able to win a Super Bowl. We can kind of go on a run, but they're obviously paying that tax.
He did have 77 for 982 last year. It's not a bad little season.
Yeah. Hell of a player. And that's whenever you're not even getting looked at, right? Because Nuke is getting the ball most of the time, even though he gets hurt. A.J. Green kind of bounces around there. Kyler Murray was in some games, was out some games. It's a wild scene, dude.
Yeah.
It is a wild scene. Kyler Murray's got his entire social media back up. That's good. He's going back to Arizona. Just saw James Conner make $7 million a year for $21 million. Seems like everybody's getting paid. Buck Kyler is what his agent said 2 weeks ago.
Zach Ertz just got extended the other day.
Yep. Congrats, Ertz, by the way.
Yeah.
Ertz.
Thought he might go to.
Yeah, everybody was linking him here because it'd be a good fit.
Perfect fit.
Doesn't want to catch passes from Sam Ellinger.
No, unfortunately.
It's going to be tough to get some free agents, I think. Like, we're going to have to pay a tax on a wide receiver because we don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's like the Jacksonville's paying a tax because it's Jacksonville. We're going to have to pay a tax until we get a quarterback. Unless it's Jimmy G. Hey, Jimmy G is super accurate.
Oh, yeah.
Very
super duper accurate.
Winner.
He's a winner. Yeah, everybody loves it. He connects. He connects with his teammates.
Right.
Sherm came out and said, why do you think everybody's so hard rooting for Jimmy G? Because how much his teammates love him, how much everybody loves him. It's like, we need that in building.
Yeah, big time. Been to a Super Bowl.
Pay him $20 million. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Doesn't
You
matter.
got 70 available.
Exactly.
That's before salary cap gymnastics and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about him getting hurt. You guys got the best O-line in the game.
Yeah, he's already hurt. You don't even have to worry.
He can't throw a football right now,
fine.
but
Surgery.
for a while he's got that shoulder surgery.
Yeah, successful.
The guy's played before. He knows how to play the game.
Yeah, he's been through New England.
Wait until Jimmy G signs with Carolina or something. And then, like Deshaun goes to New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
And Marcus Mariota goes somewhere else. And then it's like the Colts legitimately have Gardner Minshew and Sam Ellinger battling it out. It's going to be like, all right.
It's a tall quarterback room.
Jameis.
What's going on? We better be chopping everybody. Sicko! Everybody just chop. Everybody get those balls out. Gardner Minshew's a winner. Don't ever fucking get it twisted. He didn't win in Jacksonville.
Well, actually, he beat the Colts in Philip Rivers' first game, you remember?
Yeah, then they would literally lose every other
They
game.
lost 15 in a row after
that.
What's going on?
He's going to be a hell of a Colt.
I can't take it anymore.
Doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to take all my aggressions out on what's going on in the NFL free agency world.
Mm-hmm.
Out on Austin Theory's face.
Hell yeah.
Bingo.
That's a good idea.
Kick his ass.
Hell yeah.
What?
He does have a punchable face.
Oh, my God.
Filter face ass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, by the way, he just came out here and smacked me in the face. Like, I didn't even know. Hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
The adults are talking, and then this dude just comes in.
Yeah, absolutely no decorum whatsoever.
Trying to do your job.
No couth.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag filter face.
Right.
And he got what was coming on Friday.
That's right.
That was a preview of what's going to happen at the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time.
Hell yeah.
All right, Hammer Down's in 15 minutes. Big thanks to Dan Orlovsky and Jeff Goodman stopping by. All the callers, you guys are great today.
Yeah. Carter.
Even a 10-year-old, 10-year-old should not be listening to this show. Hopefully spring break ends soon so all these youngs stop fucking listening.
That'd be good.
They ruin everything.
Huh?
What?
The youngs ruin
Spring
everything?
break ruins everything.
Does a lot of traffic.
Traffic. I can't take my dogs to daycare because all the daycare spots are filled up because everyone's on spring break.
Let alone the gas prices.
Gas
my
prices.
God.
Crazy.
See people putting Ring cameras above their gas cans now because people are going in there puncturing holes and siphoning gas out. Yeah.
Seriously, people are in there stealing fucking gas?
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious. So, like, the black market gas right now is
hotter than it's ever been.
Next level.
Going like Amazon or Etsy or something and get an entire gallon thing, like full with gas.
Yep.
Bingo.
Wow.
$200.
Hey, there's some people that are really good at siphoning gas.
Yeah.
Tim McAfee's super solid. I mean, he'll suck until that gas is down his throat.
Wow.
Good for you.
And then he just keeps it going. You know what I mean?
Talent.
That's old school, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People haven't done that in so long, I bet. What's the new hustle? It's what we were doing 30 years ago.
Remember?
We'll say, we're huffing gas. Are you serious? Yeah, it's like $7 a gallon. Oh, give me that fucking. Give me the hose.
It's wrong.
Give me my old hose. Let me get this thing going. All right, we're back tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be more stuff happening. We assume there will be. Hammer Down will be in 15 minutes. I can't wait to watch that. You guys just been handing out winners. Jeff Goodman help you guys out or hurt you guys a little bit?
I like that he likes Illinois. I love Illinois.
Yeah?
Although they are playing my faithful Chattanooga squad in the first round.
Oh, the Mocs.
Yeah.
Hey, they had a good celebration.
Oh, yeah.
I forget which team it was. I think it was Villanova. One of them. Whenever it was announced they were in, they all just stood up and clapped. None of them had cameras out. I was like, I'm betting on that team. Do we still have Sirius playing in my radio right now, I think? I think there's a little bit in there. I think it's Chris Mad Dog yelling.
Yeah.
Almost. Was it not? I think.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, it might have been Mad Dog.
I never put it up.
He might have been hitting his crescendo at the exact time. By the way, it was a welcomed.
There it is.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was a welcomed. It was a welcomed addition. But I think. I forget where I was headed.
Villanova. They weren't celebrating when the cameras went on them.
Yeah, I'm okay with them celebrating and everything, but everybody had their cameras out and cell phones, and we're in a content game, 100%. But also, like, I couldn't see a lot of people's faces because cell phones are in front of them. It's like the content is actually, they're shooting the content right now. Just rip that thing, do your thing. I enjoyed, seeing a couple of the teams that were just like enjoying the moment almost. It was like, yeah, this is really cool. And it made it much better. But who am I to tell these kids that made a tournament not to lose their fucking mind? Do what you got to do.
It's college basketball.
I think that's a good point, though. You look at a team like Villanova, it's like, okay, they expected to be in here. They knew, like, they don't care. See some of these other guys going apeshit. It's like, oh, okay, well, they're just going to be happy with getting beat by 20 in the first round because they made it.
Hey, the Big East tourney in Madison Square Garden was electrifying.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was loud in there.
Oh, yeah. It's a shame it's not the real Big East.
Yeah, as a former all Big East competitor, okay, multiple time, all academic Big East as well.
Oh, yeah. People don't talk about that.
Just one time. That was my freshman year.
Still happened.
Still happened. I was on the all academic team. No big
Went
deal.
in there fucking trying hard.
Well, the first batch of classes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, was like 8th grade classes.
Give it a run.
Good scheduling.
Yeah, great scheduling. Yeah. The summer before it all started, I took a very easy class too, so that gave me an A. So I went into the semester.
4.0
with
already.
an A. Going in. It was good. It was good gamesmanship. But I never saw that team again. But anyways, as a former Big East, stalwart, it was great to see that tournament still got it over there.
Oh, yeah.
Great to see that. Need to bring it back. Football and everything. Big 12, who cares?
I know. They're dead.
West Virginia's going to play in the one below the NIT, I guess.
Is that right?
The CBI.
CBI, yeah.
I can't believe
That's awesome.
Yeah, you might want to just say no thanks to that bit. If you're fucking going to play in the CBI and you're West Virginia, dark days. That's not good.
Yeah.
Huggins said the boys want to play more basketball.
Well, I'm sure they do. Do they deserve to? Team stinks.
Well, what's the CBI? Who am I playing against? Like University of Pitt, Johnstown?
Probably.
D3 schools.
UPJ's the number 1 seed.
I got a good gym. I went to a basketball game at UPJ one time. Literally just roaming around that. I think they have a basketball team, right? Or is that Altoona? It was either UPJ or the other one.
That's what they both do.
I think it was UPJ. Just wandering around the campus, hammered drunk.
Nice.
Accidentally opening the door to the gymnasium. Full game's happening. Oh, we might as well sit down and watch. It was we watched 4 quarters. We were losing our mind. Pretty good ball players.
Ball team.
Hey, they smacked the floor. I mean, it was
old
high
school.
effort.
Mm-hmm.
What if West Virginia loses to UPJ in the CBI first round?
It's possible.
Could see it happen.
What if we don't win that thing? That's tough going in next year forever.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you don't go. Recruits will decommit.
We got to go. AJ Hawk will be back tomorrow. I don't know, actually.
Allegedly.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, I think we hit everything. Thanks, everybody. More news will happen. Stay up to date online at Pat McAfee Show. Join our bracket bonanza. We appreciate you all so much. Cheers.